Hey there, everyone, and welcome back to Utility Sports. Today, we are starting our 2021 NFL Draft live stream here on the channel. Super excited to be going through this. We're going to be talking about a little bit about our big boards before the draft, maybe a little bit more mock draft stuff. We've done a lot on the channel. Obviously, leading up to this day, it's going to be very exciting. Austin, how excited are you for the NFL Draft?
Absolutely ready to go. A lot of months of anticipation, a lot of preparation has gone into this one day. Obviously, we have rounds 2 and 3 tomorrow, and then 4 through 7 on Saturday. So a lot to look forward to, but this is where it all happens. This is where some of those big-time players go. Obviously, a lot of impact quarterbacks in this class. There's so much to look forward to with this whole entire unit. I'm just ready to go for this.
I am too. I am very excited about the whole situation that we have. We've already got some people in the chat. Robert Lamison, welcome to the stream. Glad to have you in here. Really looking forward to the NFL Draft. Looking forward to hearing your guys' thoughts as well as we go through the picks, who the selections are. We will be giving our live reactions. Mr. Jaden Hopkins, welcome to the stream. He says he's ready for his Philadelphia Eagles. That will be awesome. I'm excited for my New York Jets, and Austin's obviously excited to finally see Trevor Lawrence's name called. And then also the Jaguars at 25. What will they do? It'll be awesome. Nicholas Godol says, what's up, guys, and go Fins. Awesome having you in here. Going, and T. Livingston says Detroit Lions. That'll be awesome. Detroit Lions are going to be a team to watch for a trade down scenario. Austin, are there any trade downs that you think are possible in round 1 here?
I think that New England might be moving up to 7 potentially with Detroit. There's a lot of noise going on. I had thought that kind of prior to that noise, but obviously New England wants to move up and get a quarterback, and Detroit's a perfect trade down candidate. They have a lot to, potentially get in one of those packages, some of those mid-round picks, late-round picks, and next year's picks, which are highly coveted right now. Something else that is noteworthy, the New Orleans Saints, they are aggressively trying to move into the top 10. I'm not exactly sure why. I mean, it could be for a cornerback, could be Surtain that they're looking at, or maybe they just feel like they could get a quarterback. So at this point, there's so much that can happen. I would be surprised to see the Saints ultimately get in that top 10.
Yes, that will be the interesting team to watch. The New Orleans Saints, the Detroit Lions, like you mentioned. That is going to be something you want to watch here on the channel. Also, Austin right now is putting together his final mock. He is obviously the mock draft wizard, the mock draft expert here on the channel. So he's going through doing his final ultimate one. We'll be taking a look at it here on the channel. I've already got mine mocked up as well. So we'll see. Austin's going to be doing some mock trades, I'm sure, as well. So we'll kind of see who ends up where in his mock, what star players could land in what situations. That'll be the key thing to watch. Guys, right now I am working on just a couple things here for stream maintenance. So I know that there are some comments there. I can't get to them quite at this moment. But stay in there. We'll get to your questions and comments here in just a second. Really looking forward to the NFL Draft. Let your friends and family know about the stream too. We'd love to have as many people in here as possible. That would be absolutely great if we could get a record high in viewership today. That would be magnificent. We hope this live stream goes extremely well. We're excited to hear from all of you at pick 8, Austin.
Who's pick 8? That's Carolina.
Oh, thank you. I was having issues with that. 9 here. We got the Broncos, and we've got the Cowboys. Let me know, too, in the chat what your guys' thoughts are on this NFL Draft. What kind of surprises are you in for? And also, let me know right now in the comments, who do you think the San Francisco 49ers are going to take at pick 3? I think that they're the real team to watch now in the top 3. Are they going to take Mac Jones? Are they going to take Trey Lance? Or is Justin Fields still a possibility? I know the report's saying that they're going to be between those two guys, but is Justin Fields still a possibility? Let me know in the comments right now who you think will be the selection at the 3rd overall pick. I am very excited to see as the draft progresses here who ends up being the selection for the San Francisco 49ers. Got the Chargers here at 14. We have the Minnesota Vikings, followed up by the New England Patriots, a team that is going to be very aggressive today and moving up. It seems like they've been doing a lot of unpatriot things since losing Tom Brady. They had to go out, spend a lot in free agency. We'll see exactly what they do there at this point. Here, Richard Motley says, Washington is coming for Lance. I believe that fella's okay. So he expects the Washington football team, to make an aggressive move today. We'll see. Sid and C says, "Sup, Goat. Welcome to the stream. Love having you. We'll talk some Seattle Seahawks football at some point during the stream, I'm sure, even though they don't have a first-round pick, obviously, from the trade for Jamal Adams." Welcome to the stream, Sid. He wants to know if we are nervous. Austin?
I'm not that nervous. I feel pretty good. At one point in time, I was nervous about it. Pick 25 is going to be kind of interesting to see how that pans out.
Yes, that will be the fun pick to watch here. Orion Zoranea, welcome to the stream. He says, "What do you think about the Patriots? How aggressive are they going to be for one of the top quarterbacks?" I think they're going to be very aggressive, and ultimately I would be surprised if they don't make a move up. If we don't see them get a quarterback today, I think by the end of the year we're going to see Jimmy Garoppolo back with the New England Patriots. I would be surprised if we don't see that. And Robert Lamison brings up a key question here, talking about Aaron Rodgers. Obviously, the report came out today that he's not happy there in Green Bay. Will he actually get traded tonight? That would seem very, very quick and presumptive by the Green Bay Packers to trade him within a few hours of these reports coming out. I don't know if I necessarily see him getting traded, but you guys are going to want to be here for our reaction in case he does tonight. That will be incredible. Jamari, welcome to the stream. He says, you guys know I couldn't miss out. That's awesome, Jamari. Love having you in here. You've been absolutely killing it with the support lately. Means a lot to have all the support from you guys at this point. And hit that subscribe button if you are new to Utility Sports. We love working with each and every one of you. We love getting to know our subscribers. Enrico Preston says, "Bears coming up for Fields." That is an interesting thought. I don't necessarily know if I see the Chicago Bears moving up at this point. And here, Sid and C wants to know if I'm nervous about the 23rd pick. Not as much, because I really don't think there's a lot of ways the Jets could screw it up. I mean, we have needs at almost every position on the football field. So unless, I don't know, tonight we take 2 quarterbacks or something, I think I'll be okay for the most part. Now, the thing is, do you look at it and go, maybe, hey, I want running back. Maybe I could use an edge. Possibly could look at a few other positions as well, cornerback, wide receiver. I think there's a lot of good options at 23. My dream scenario is probably ending up with either Jalen Phillips or hoping that Caleb Farley falls to pick 23. Those are my 2 dream scenarios. But again, I wouldn't be mad if someone like Rashad Bateman or Kadarius Toney ends up being the pick either. Those would be both good grabs for me. Sid and C says, "Do the Jaguars have more than 1 pick or no?" Yes, they have 2 picks tonight on round 1. They have pick 1, obviously, which will be Trevor Lawrence, presumably. And then also they will have pick 25. We'll see if they're aggressive moving that up or what they'll do at the back end of the first round there. Sid and C says his brother is a Jets fan too. That's awesome. Hopefully he enjoys the streams as well. Time out some New York Jets football. Jamari says, "Who is a target at 25 for the Jaguars?" Austin, who are some guys that you could see the Jaguars targeting at that spot?
I think Trayvon Merrick is the clear one right now. We have an obvious need at safety. I also think that Pat Freiermuth could be a potential target there. I have heard some Kadarius Toney rumors. I'm not sure exactly if that's going to be true, but Pat Freiermuth, Trayvon Merrick, you could also potentially see a guy like Tevin Jenkins being selected with that pick, just considering Cam Robinson is on the franchise tag and no long-term deal has been put in place for him.
Yeah, that will be an interesting thing to monitor as well. Looking at that tackle position, do they try and find their franchise guy to protect their new franchise savior quarterback, or will they look at other areas of the football field? Interesting thing today, Tim Tebow possibly going to be signing with the Jacksonville Jaguars. That's a move I'm actually very interested in seeing if it gets done there. I like it from a perspective of you're bringing in someone who knows Urban Meyer, is going to be a vocal part of that locker room and a good leader. I think he's going to be someone who's looked at as, a veteran, even though he hasn't been in the NFL for a while. I think he's going to be a mature player for that locker room on a very young team. They've got a lot of young players. They're going to have a lot of draft picks this year yet too that are going to be vying for roster spots. I think it's good to have some players who have been in the spotlight before, know how to handle certain things. I think Tim Tebow is a good example of that. Looking at the needs here for the Jaguars, offensive tackle is definitely one of those. Could also use some interior offensive line help. Austin, what other team needs would you list for the Jaguars?
Sorry, I missed the first. So it's QB, tight end, tackle, safety.
Oh, yes.
Interior offensive lineman.
Interior offensive lineman and
I mean, you could argue linebacker at the tail end of that.
Okay.
You need that. Potentially one more as a rotational guy, but I mean, you could also say, I mean, they kind of addressed corner during the offseason, so that's not as big of a concern.
Yeah, they did a very good job bringing in Shaquille Griffin. I think that was a move that was well executed for them. You're looking at a much better Jaguars team at this point, in my opinion. Let me know in the comments below what you think about the Jaguars moves this offseason. They brought in Roy Robertson Harris. They brought in a few other nice players as well in free agency. Rashawn Jenkins at safety, Shaquille Griffin. I think that they had a pretty good offseason all in all, and we'll just see where they take it here on draft night to improve this roster a little bit more and continue growing in the right direction. The Jets, another team with a lot of different needs. You're looking at quarterback, obviously, after trading Sam Darnold, but there's a wide variety of other needs on this team. Cornerback, running back, wide receiver, tight end's a big need. You have to look at the offensive tackle spot yet and interior offensive line. And I think all in all, they could probably still use an edge yet at this point. That is kind of what I'm looking at here. Arian Zoronea says, how do you think wide receiver is going to shake up? Waddle's name has been heating up. Sneaky, the most entertaining position after quarterback. I think it is the most entertaining position as well, especially looking at the talent that we have in this class. Jamar Chase is an elite wide receiver. I would be surprised if he isn't the first wide out off the board. But then Jalen Waddle is probably wide receiver 2 off the board tonight, followed by Devontae Smith. Then I would think Rashad Bateman is probably the 4th guy. But I think all in all, this wide receiver class is very, very strong. Very possible we could only see 4 wide receivers go, or as possibly as many as 6 or 7 even, depending on how the market shapes up for them. We'll see if the wide receivers go off the board early or if there's a little bit of a slide due to the depth of this class. Jonas Bayer, welcome back again from Germany. It's awesome having you in here. Really, really love that. And if you guys are new, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any utility sports content. Also hit that notification bell so you get notified when we are going live or doing recording any other videos and so on. We would want you guys to be a part of everything that we can possibly have you be a part of. You guys have been absolutely killing it with the support lately, and it does mean a lot getting the support from you guys. You've been absolutely killing it, and without you guys, we wouldn't be nearly where we are. So again, thank you all so much. Love having you in the streams. Love having you in our comment section on the normal videos. You guys have been riding with us all year long since we started doing the NFL mock drafts way earlier on in the year. We're doing it earlier than most people. We've spent so much time, especially Austin here, dedicating his life basically to covering these prospects. Today is the day now that we get to see it all come to fruition. It's very awesome having you guys in here. We're glad to have you be a part of the process here with us at Utility Sports. It means so much. And it'll be interesting to see how the draft really shakes out at this point. You're looking at a big, big, interesting situation where we don't really know what's going to happen at pick 3 yet. There's going to be a question mark of what quarterback goes. Also, it sounds like they were shopping the 3rd pick. That kind of sounds like a whole messy situation. Austin, what's your thoughts on San Francisco trading up for pick 3, then supposedly using that in trade talks for Aaron Rodgers? Doesn't sound like they really know who they want yet.
Yeah, it's kind of a head scratcher, to be honest with you. I don't know. I mean, that's just poor management by them. If they moved up to 3 so sure of someone, and then all of a sudden now they're kind of retracting that. Obviously, if you get Aaron Rodgers, you're going to be in that Super Bowl conversation. So I do understand it from that perspective. But, I mean, Green Bay, they kind of have a little bit of a situation on their hands as it currently stands.
Yes, they do. They are a team. We had talked about this last year a lot when they had drafted Jordan Love. We were kind of surprised they didn't go wide receiver last year, thought that maybe could have been the missing piece to what ultimately was just short of a Super Bowl run this year. You got to be wondering if Aaron Rodgers is looking at it the same way, saying, you guys have been slow to get me help in the first round at wide receiver. I know he has Devontae Adams, but he's looking at it saying we could have used another wide receiver last year. Instead of you drafted this guy to back me up, now you're being a little bit slow in giving me a contract extension. I can understand from Aaron Rodgers' perspective why he might not want to spend the duration of his career anymore in Green Bay after their failure to commit to him long-term. We'll see where he ends up if he does get traded. He is a big name to watch, obviously, reigning NFL MVP. It would be interesting and quite shocking if we saw him get moved tonight, but you can never really rule that out. I think that is a possibility at this point. Other things to watch tonight. You're looking at pick 4, Atlanta. They're a team where they have a lot of different things going on. They could use a long-term franchise quarterback replacement to Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan's getting closer to the end of his career. Are they going to look that way? I think it's possible, but I wouldn't say it's likely at this point. Also, they could use a tight end. Obviously, Kyle Pitts being that guy with how good of a player he is, he would make a lot of sense at 4. Trade down's a real possibility for them, but also that defense badly needs some work. If they did trade down, I think they would go defense later on in the first round. But if they stick 4, they'd probably go Kyle Pitts. Let us know in the comments right now where you think Atlanta's looking, who they would want if the board plays out where it's 3 QBs off the board in the top 3. Do the Falcons look at Trey Lance or possibly Mac Jones or Justin Fields? Or do they look defense or tight end Kyle Pitts? We'll see really which way the board ends up falling at this point. But it will be interesting to see kind of how everything shakes out here in the NFL draft. Always a great time for sure. Looking at the Bengals as well, they could use some help in the interior offensive line. They could use some edge help. And they could also use a little bit of linebacker play. Those would be the key needs for the Bengals. Looking at 6 here. Looking into the comments here. Jamari says, what team going to have the best first round? Right now, you got to feel really good about Jacksonville just because they're going to be in this position where they get to have the shot to get Trevor Lawrence and then also having a second first-round pick. That is a very, very strong situation to be in if you're looking at Jacksonville. I think obviously the Jets are in a similar situation. I feel really good about Wilson coming in tonight. I think he's going to be a franchise guy. You also have to look at what they have at pick 23. They're going to be able to find a really good player there at that point, especially with how many quarterbacks are going to go off the board in the first 10, 15 picks. You're looking at 5 QBs going early. So you're going to have some good players slide a little bit in this draft. I feel like there's a pretty good spot. I also think Miami is really primed. Again, notice how I've named the 3 teams with 2 first-round picks. They're going to be in situations where they get to take the best player available. Possibly Miami lands a guy like Penei Sewell or a star wide receiver, and then they come back with pick 18, find something else that they really need. They've got so much versatility, flexibility. They're going to be able to make their board play out any way that they want, and they're in the driver's seat tonight. I expect Miami to probably be the winner, but we'll see how everything turns out. Maybe they surprise us at 6. Don't go with who we're thinking. Maybe at 18 as well, they surprise us. It will be interesting to watch. Robert Lamison here says that he thinks the Atlanta Falcons will take Kyle Pitts. I mean, that is a real possibility. Like I was saying, I think that does make a lot of sense. Their offense would be very good. We'll see if Julio Jones is going to be around in Atlanta long-term. Even if they take Pitts, I don't think it affects the future of Julio Jones, but we'll see. Monster, welcome to the stream. You've been in a bunch of our other streams. Welcome back. He says, let's go Raiders. Yeah, Raiders are going to be an interesting team to watch. They've had a weird offseason, moved on from a lot of different guys, so we'll see if there is a lot of things that they can do during the draft here to replenish some of the talent that they let go in free agency during the offseason. Since he says, studied for my test early today to watch the draft. That's awesome. Way to be on that sit-in so you can open up your schedule. Dr. Detroit says Miami for the teams that's going to have the best first round. I think that is a fair bet as well. And then Christopher Tolbert says, you think Parsons can make it past 17 and my Raiders? That seems like that would be a really long way for Micah Parsons to fall. I don't think he's going to make it past the Las Vegas Raiders. I kind of see that as his floor landing point at this point. Austin, what's your thoughts on Micah Parsons, how low he could go?
Yeah, I think that the Raiders are probably the lowest. Kind of looking at what's around there, I think then Miami, there's no way he gets past Miami. I don't really think there's a chance of that happening. So ultimately, I do believe that Micah Parsons will go before that pick 17 or possibly at 17.
Yeah, that's kind of my thoughts as well. Micah Parsons, I know you really like him. I think he's going to be a very good player in the NFL. I think he's going to have a lot of impact. You kind of likened him to Anthony Barr. Austin, what does Micah Parsons offer at the position?
Micah Parsons is a phenomenal pass rusher. He's super athletic. He's like a heat-seeking missile when he is in run defense. Very, very good on the sidelines and making open field tackles. One of the best tacklers in the class, and he's just a super fun, dynamic athlete at that position. A lot of character concerns. Mike has a fall, though, however.
Yep, I definitely think that is a possibility. You're looking at a guy who's probably a top 10 talent in this class, but those character concerns could make him fall into the back end of the teens, like we're talking maybe pick 17, maybe pick 18. That's kind of the concerns there with Micah Parsons. But from the tape perspective, he's going to be phenomenal. in the NFL. He has a lot to offer. And another team that's going to be very interesting this year in the NFL draft is the Detroit Lions. We talked about them just a little bit earlier. They're a team that has a lot of different options after trading Matthew Stafford. They could look to trade back down, try and pick up more future assets, and also build out the rest of this roster in a slower, more traditional rebuild method. And I think that's really the best case scenario for them. Maybe try and see what you have in Jared Goff, find some wide receivers a little bit later in the draft that are going to help complement him, and see if you have a quarterback there. And we'll see what the Detroit Lions do, though. I do think it's possible they still go quarterback at 7. It kind of depends on who falls to them. Maybe if Justin Fields is there, maybe that's their guy. They want Fields possibly. But also at the same time, I could see if Fields falls to them, maybe they try and leverage a trade with a team like New England. We'll see exactly where they go. They could be one of those teams that's a landing spot for Micah Parsons. He could probably go as high as 7, but more than likely will go after pick 10. That is just my guess at this point. The Detroit Lions are going to be a very interesting team. Remember last year they had the 3rd pick, grabbed Jeff Okudah. Had a little bit of a shaky rookie year, but that is standard for most rookie cornerbacks. I think he's going to take a big step forward this year. Question mark for them is they need a cornerback 2 yet at this point. They need some help at the safety position. They could also use obviously offensive tackle at this point. They have a lot of different needs, so we'll see exactly which way they go on draft night. But there is an abundance of needs there in Detroit at this point. Looking here, Detroit says Micah will drop possibly to 21. At 21, that is the Indianapolis Colts. That would be scary if they added Micah Parsons next to Darius Leonard there. That would be pretty scary. Robert Lamison asks if we think Barmore could fall to the Jags. That is possible, but I don't even know if they would take Barmore, honestly. They did add Roy Robertson Harris. I really like that signing in free agency. It's possible we could see Barmore fall all the way out of the first round. Maybe the Jaguars at 33 would take him then at that point. I think it is possible we see Barmore fall past 25. Dr. Detroit says a broomstick for his teammates. Sewell, Slater, or trade back for us. Yeah, Detroit, they're obviously talking about his Detroit Lions wanting to grab a tackle or move back in the draft. I think both of those are viable options at this point. Moving into pick 8 for some of our overlay here. We're looking at the Carolina Panthers, and they're a team, after acquiring Sam Darnold, they could be another a prime destination to move down in the NFL draft, especially if Detroit looks at a tackle per se. Maybe the Panthers, instead of taking a quarterback, say, hey, New England, you want to move up? Or maybe a team like Pittsburgh. No one's talking about the Steelers moving up at this point. We'll see. Also, a lot of news about the New Orleans Saints. Will they want to move up? I think Carolina could be a landing spot if New Orleans didn't jump all the way into the top 10. That would be very interesting. Austin, do you have your mock there done?
It is done. I also got Penn on my Jalen Ramsey jersey, so that's awesome. Love that for me.
Oh, no, not necessarily what you want to hear. Looking at the Panthers, Austin, what are their key team needs at this point that you would feel like they need to address on night 1 here?
They need a tackle for sure, corner. I'm trying to think. They need a tight end for sure. That's a must. Outside of that, I mean, they're pretty good. Maybe they can look interior defensive line on top of it. But they do have Derek Brown. They could use another
linebacker for sure.
They need a linebacker.
Yep. We'll just put that for now. At 9, we've got the Denver Broncos. And interesting here, they brought in Teddy Bridgewater. Austin, what's your thoughts on the Bridgewater situation and how that affects their team needs in this year's draft?
I mean, it doesn't really change much for me. I think that they needed a quarterback. Drew Lock really, really struggled last year in the games that he played. So, I mean, they still do need a quarterback. I'm not sure. I mean, Teddy Bridgewater for 6, that makes sense to do. So I definitely don't knock them for that.
Right. At worst case, I think what it really does is it covers their options in case a quarterback doesn't fall to them. That, hey, maybe we don't have to move up now. We have another option at this point. I think that they've done a lot of their homework trying to monitor, and maybe that move shows that they're not confident a QB will fall. It is possible we could see 5 QBs go in the top 9 picks. Even as crazy as something as 5 QBs in the top 7, that would be absolutely historic, but we'll see if that is how this kind of plays out or not at this point. Austin, any other key needs for the Broncos besides maybe quarterback, linebacker, edge, and corner?
I mean, I feel pretty good about that. You could argue no, I think they're good. I think that's good here.
All right, moving on to the Cowboys at pick 10, just talking about them a little bit later. I'll send it later. Looking at the Cowboys here, obviously their biggest need is that cornerback position. They badly need to improve at that area. Trayvon Diggs, the youngster, struggled a little bit last year as a rookie, but like I said earlier about Jeff Okudah, that is customary for rookie cornerbacks. It's not something I'm really concerned about long term. I think it's about trying to find a cornerback who can be a complement to him, and that would be someone like Patrick Surtain. Austin, if you're looking at the Cowboys, who should be at the top of their radar at pick 10?
At pick number 10, Surtain's a definite must. I think another guy who I actually did mock was J.C. Horn. I think that they are looking at corner. They're going to look at it deep. I'm kind of interested to see if they leverage a trade up if a guy like Kyle Pitts were to fall somehow.
That would be very interesting. Kyle Pitts, he is really the name to watch in a lot of different ways. I think you're looking at a possibility where he could go as high as 4, but also a possibility he could fall down to 8 or 9. And we're talking about someone who is very likely a top 3 player in this class, falling a little bit because of the positional value at quarterback. Obviously, teams like the Jets, Jaguars, 49ers are not going to be looking at anything other than quarterback. So Kyle Pitts, where do you ultimately think he lands? Where do you have him going in your mock draft, Austin?
Yeah, for Kyle Pitts, I do have him going number 4 to Atlanta. I think that they're going to end up sticking there because they don't get the value that they want. Build for, their rebuild here. Obviously, Kyle Pitts is going to be a phenomenal player. He's a top 3 player in this class. So I think they'd be very happy to just stay there and take the great pass catcher.
Yeah, it will be awesome getting to see him in the NFL. I think he's going to be a total game changer at that position, honestly. And by that position, I mean pretty positionless, a lot of times lined up out wide as well at the University of Florida. Austin, talk about his transition to the NFL. What is he going to look like at the next level?
He's gonna line up all over the place. He will very rarely probably line up actually inline tight end, but you can see him in the slot. You can see him outside. He does a lot of different things for an offense, and he's a mismatch nightmare for corners, linebackers. It doesn't matter. It's going to be a tough cover for him at the next level. Like I said, 3rd best player in the class, really athletic, and one of the best catch radiuses we've ever seen coming out of college.
Yes, he's going to be an absolute weapon in the NFL. That's the easiest thing to say about him because it's the most true thing. However, he is not your top pass catcher on your big board, Austin, and he isn't on mine either. Who is and why?
Jamar Chase is my number 1 pass catcher, reason being super, super smooth route runner. He was even more explosive in terms of what he ran at his 40 time than people were anticipating. He's got that 4.38 speed, which a lot of people thought he was going to run in the 4.5. So he really did himself a nice thing by obviously running that better time than people are expecting. And it's going to be crazy, wherever he goes. If he lands up in Cincy, that's going to be a phenomenal fit for him. Right now, we have the NFL draft on. The players are walking onto the stage. Gregory Rousseau is making his appearance. Rashawn Slater is now coming on. So it's starting to get real, guys. We're under a half hour until the actual NFL draft starts. There's a lot of optimism. And I think the reason that this is so big is every single team has hope when they go into the NFL draft, unless you're a team like the Rams that just trade their first-round picks no matter what. I'm pretty sure that I could get traded for one of their first.
That is honestly true at this point. They are very aggressive moving on from their picks usually. And a lot of other teams have made moves with them. I think benefited their rebuilds. The Jaguars were one of those teams a few years back when they brought in K'Lavon Chase on. After that, also have picked 25 this year from that trade. Austin, looking at your Jaguars, what is your dream scenario? Pick one, obviously Trevor Lawrence. Who do you hope falls to 25?
25, it's tough because there's a couple of guys that I want. I mean, obviously in a dream scenario, I'd love to trade up and go get Pitts if he begins to fall slightly. However, I don't think that's viable. I think a guy like Tevin Jenkins would be really nice at 25. I don't think he's getting there, unfortunately. So Tevin Jenkins is a guy I'd like. I mean, there's guys like Azeez Ojulari that could be, interesting fits as well, but I don't think that's the direction that they're going to go. But Trayvon Merrick seems to be, one of the best options for us at 25. We need a safety desperately, and I think that's probably where they're going to go. But here's the thing. Urban Meyer does not care about where people are ranked. He does not care about, overall, quote, value, what people and draft experts deem value.
Rebecca Stroud here says, happy draft day. Do you think the Bears will draft a QB or stay with Andy Dalton? That's probably going to be dependent on if a quarterback falls to them or not. Austin, what's the likelihood Dalton is still the starter next year?
I think he's going to be the starter almost regardless. But something we have to kind of make note of, they are trying to trade up right now. So keep that in mind. They are trying to get up and ultimately take a quarterback. So whether that be trading with the Giants, trading with the Eagles, trading with the Chargers, I think if a guy like Mac Jones falls, they very well could be in the discussion for him.
I would like that a lot for Chicago. I think that they have to find a long-term replacement. It was clear Mitch Trubisky wasn't the guy. Andy Dalton clearly also not going to be the guy for the long term. They need to find someone to come in there and be that player for them. Jonas Byer here at this point, he says, wish the draft would be earlier because time shift sucks. Yeah, that is definitely a very tough situation there. Jonas, obviously watching from Germany. What time is it in Germany right now? It's probably close to 2 a.m. is my guess there, your time. I'm interested to see what time it is exactly there. Maybe it might even be close to 3. It might be 2:35 at this point. We will hear from you back in a second here as we continue going through these needs. Obviously, the Patriots are a team to watch. They have big-time needs at both the quarterback position, but also other positions like wide receiver. I still think that is a need for them after their moves in free agency, and also edge. I don't think a lot of people are talking about edge for the Patriots. I could see that as a need. Austin, how about the Arizona Cardinals at 16?
They need a corner for sure. They could look at the tight end spot as definitely being an option. And, I mean, they might look running back too, so don't rule that out for them.
Right,
as it currently stands.
Interesting that they brought in James Conner. Obviously, only got the minimum contract there on a 1-year deal. Did not have much of a market. We'll see if they still do look running back during this draft. I would be surprised if they didn't more than anything. And the Raiders at 17, another very interesting team. Made a lot of different moves. I think that they could use an offensive tackle really bad. Austin, what else?
Guard as well, linebacker, and interior defensive lineman.
Yeah, those are the key things. They moved on from Mo Hurst as well recently. When they waived him, that was a surprising move. The Dolphins at pick 18 are on the clock again. And at this point, their needs will be a little bit shifted based on what they've addressed. Probably going to need a wide receiver, offensive line help at that point, possibly a tackle being that case if they don't go with a tackle at pick 6.
Need a linebacker as well.
Linebacker, a very big need after they moved on from Kyle Van Noy. And also I think that they could use a little defensive back help, maybe someone over the top. Long-term, we'll see exactly who they go for. Yeah, Jonas says it is 2 a.m. there. Very, very interesting to hear that. Thanks for staying up with us, Jonas. We do really appreciate that. Make sure you guys are subscribed to Utility Sports if you are new. Also, make sure to jump into the comment section. Let us know who you're hoping your favorite team lands in the NFL draft. Also, make sure to tell your friends and family about this live stream. We would hate for anyone to miss out on it at this point. At 19, we have the Washington football team on the clock. They're obviously going to be looking for a linebacker, some offensive tackle help maybe. They could also look at wide receiver still yet at this point, and also maybe they brought in William Jackson in free agency, so cornerback's not.
They could look at tight end.
Yep, tight end is a need there as well. Okay, perfect. We will look at that.
Chicago Bears are up next.
Robert Lamison said, Austin, did you watch Urban Meyer video on NFL Network yesterday?
I watched the Urban Meyer bit when he went out to the naval ship that was just off the coast there in Jacksonville during his day off. So obviously he was been working hard. He wanted to go show some support for the military. So that was really cool to see. I'm not exactly sure what was displayed on NFL Network. I'm kind of curious to hear what that was all about. If you want to give some information on that.
Yeah, let us know exactly. Jamari wants to know, who are the Titans getting? They're a team I think that's really going to be in the market for a cornerback. Whether that's going to be Caleb Farley if he falls because of that injury concern, or if it's going to be Greg Newsome. I think those are the two main guys. Austin, am I missing someone there?
Nope, you did not miss anyone. And when I did my mock draft, I forgot to reinsert Caleb Farley on mine. That is bad.
Okay, so
I need to go ahead and address that here real quick.
Austin making a quick adjustment to his mock draft here at this point. Interesting too here. The Carolina Panthers are interested in maybe moving up to pick number 4 or possibly 6 at this point. Interesting. We'll see exactly who that could be for. Wow. This is going to be a crazy night tonight, guys. I hope you guys are enjoying everything that we are posting on the channel. We're going to have a lot of videos coming out tonight too, giving our draft grades, giving our winners and losers, a whole bunch of different stuff like that, and maybe a few surprise highlight videos as well that we usually don't tend to post on the channel a lot, but those will be coming out throughout the night as well. Hopefully you guys do enjoy that. Here is a live stream for the 2021 NFL Draft.
So yeah, thanks guys for tuning in so far. We only have 20 minutes to go in this NFL draft. Lots of excitement, a lot of anticipation. Mainly, this quarterback group is really hard to kind of pinpoint what's going to happen, especially with Justin Fields. I think we will see a trade up from a team to go get him.
He will be the key player to watch at that point. He's going to be a very, very fun player to watch in the NFL. He's got a lot of the tools. We'll see if he translates well to the NFL or not at that point. Again, thank you guys for all stopping in here. Jonas Byer wants to know, what do you guys think about Jason Oweh at 25 or 33 for the Jacksonville Jaguars? Austin, you and I are not high on Jason Oweh. Break down why.
Phenomenal athlete. I will give him a lot of credit, one of the best athletes in the entire class. But from what I've watched on film, I was not super impressed. His pass rushing moves very, very raw. However, he's a worthy project player. I just think 25 or 33 is a little high. I would not be surprised to see if they took him potentially with that second round pick. So that's something that we do have to monitor.
Yes, it is definitely. At this point, it will be interesting to see who the Jaguars go. And remember, they're in such a great position with all the assets that they have in this year's draft, having obviously pick 1, 25, and 33 being the key pieces. Austin, what's your thoughts on Jacksonville as a whole moving forward?
I like what we have in terms of assets right now. I think Urban Meyer can do a good job. It's not often that you see a coach succeed in Jacksonville. So I think that it's a little bit of a stretch to believe he could be very, very successful, but I think it's possible with having Trevor Lawrence as your starting quarterback. Obviously, I think the team is moving in the right direction. Some really nice young players as it currently stands, a couple of them being like DJ Chark and CJ Henderson, Josh Allen, some guys that could make some Pro Bowls in their career. So that's a very, very good start. Obviously, they were 1-15 last year, but they were not. They had some injuries. However, I think they are going to be much, much improved next year. Still don't see them as a playoff team, but we could be closer to seeing them around 500.
Yeah, that jump from Mike Glennon to Trevor Lawrence is going to be a notable one. Also, the jump from Doug Marrone to Urban Meyer, again, another notable jump at two of the most important spots in the NFL, head coach and quarterback, and they're getting a lot better at both, as well as bringing in a lot of other young talent in this year's class. Obviously, we'll see who they bring in. We'll grade that fairly, look at that and say, hey, maybe they could have done better, or maybe they'll kill it. Well, that is what we'll find out tonight a little bit, where they're at. This is Urban Meyer's first draft in the NFL for the Jacksonville Jaguars. We'll see exactly who he grabs. Obviously, Trevor Lawrence is going to be the first overall pick. I would lose my mind if he wasn't. But other than that, we don't exactly know where the Jaguars are going to go yet. Pick 25, pick 33. It's great to have those picks, but at the end of the day, you still have to hit on those selections. We'll see if they can get the job done there. And that's something I'm concerned about with my New York Jets as well. Looking at Joe Douglas last year, he killed the Mekhi Becton pick, got it completely right, did a great job. However, rounds 3 through 7 were a little bit more questionable. He didn't bring in a lot of talent, a lot of guys who are going to be big-time impact players. A lot of people I know like Bryce Hall. I just don't necessarily know if I believe in him as much as everyone else seems to. I've got some question marks still about the New York Jets. We need to hit on a couple late-round picks this year. Hopefully Joe Douglas is capable of doing that. Otherwise, there's going to be some real concerns moving forward. Robert Lamison says, Urban was expressing the Jags can't mess up the first 3 rounds, and that would change the franchise. That's exactly what we were just talking about, so that's awesome. That is kind of what he was saying. Having the picks is good. But at the end of the day, you need to hit on those picks. Just having the picks don't guarantee any types of wins. J Mouse says, let's go Niners. I can't wait to take our next QB. Sid and C also wants to know what we're watching on. We have it on ESPN. Thanks, J Mouse, also for saying that you have it on ESPN as well. It's going to be interesting to see how this draft breaks down. Very, very excited for the content to be pushing out here at this point. Austin, at this point, could you work on the team needs for a little bit, and I'll just ramble about the New York Jets,
Yeah.
or any other questions that you guys have in the chat. Let us know right now. Going through some of these very excited for the NFL draft. We are just 15 minutes away at this point. Rumor is that a Pats and Jimmy Garoppolo trade is unlikely at this point as well. And looking at the New England Patriots, as a Jets fan, I have a specific interest in this because of obviously them being in my division. There's a big time need for them at that quarterback spot. Will they figure it out? I'm not sure yet at this point if they will or not. That'll be something to watch moving forward. And if they move up, they could find themselves a really good quarterback in Justin Fields. Maybe another quarterback, someone like Mac Jones, if he falls. I'm interested to see who the 49ers pull the trigger on. At this point, I do think it is actually going to be Mac Jones. We will see, though, how this board plays out. Also, I'm going to go ahead and grab this right here from you. And I'm going to go through my mock draft here on the channel. This is what I thought was going to happen. This is our final edition of the mock draft here on the channel. Let me know what you guys think in the comments as I go through this. Pick number 1, I have the Jacksonville Jaguars ultimately picking Trevor Lawrence. I think that he's just the surefire first overall pick. Not a lot to say there. Number 2, I have my New York Jets grabbing Zach Wilson, the quarterback out of BYU. I think he's going to be very, very good in the NFL. And I'm finally on board with one of our quarterbacks of the future. At this point, you guys might be looking at this and thinking this is a Sam Darnold jersey. It is actually not. It is a Ryan Fitzpatrick jersey. I was not a believer in Sam Darnold. Never was, never will be. I think Zach Wilson is a guy I can get on board with. I feel like he's going to be the right option. San Francisco, we've got the 49ers at pick 3 now, and I have them taking Mac Jones. I do think that they moved up, not really knowing who they wanted at that point, and I ultimately think they're going to pull the trigger on Mac Jones at that spot. Pick 4, we've got the Atlanta Falcons, and they're going to look and take Kyle Pitts. I don't have them trading out. I think they're going to look for too much value at that spot, and they're going to end up taking Kyle Pitts. Pick 5, we got the Cincinnati Bengals, and I think that they do everything they can to make Joe Burrow happy, not necessarily healthy. They take wide receiver Jamar Chase. They don't look for a tackle round 1. They'll come back round 2, find one of the other quality tackles in this class. For Joe Burrow, he's got a lot of mobility in the pocket. He does things very well. They just need to keep him upright a little bit longer. They don't necessarily need to bring in a franchise tackle. They need to find someone who's going to be at least a very, very solid tackle for this next season, and then maybe look next year at finding a franchise tackle to build around. Miami at 6, however, they're going to find their right tackle of the future, someone to protect Tua Tagovailoa, and that is going to be Penei Sewell. I know he's not necessarily the best pass blocker in this class, but he is very, very phenomenal in the run. I think Miami needs to improve both in the pass game and the run game, and there's not a better option at tackle to do both than Penei Sewell. Then at 7, I have my first trade here in this mock draft, and that is quarterback Justin Fields goes 7th overall to the New England Patriots. They jump up from 15 with the Detroit Lions. Patriots move up to 7, grab Justin Fields. Pick 8, I have the Carolina Panthers staying put and grabbing Rashawn Slater, the tackle out of Northwestern. I think he's a great option there. They're going to be all about trying to make Sam Darnold work there in Carolina, and the best way to do it, give him a tackle who's going to keep him upright. I think it is possible they could look at quarterback if Justin Fields possibly falls to them. However, they stick at 8. Fields is off the board. They grab Rashawn Slater. Pick 9, we got the Denver Broncos. They go with Trey Lance, the QB that fell to them. At this point, I think the Broncos would feel really good about finding their quarterback despite the Teddy Bridgewater trade. Pick 10, we got the Dallas Cowboys here. They go ahead, grab Patrick Surtain, cornerback. They need a sticky man-to-man guy. I think he's perfect there in Dallas. Pick 11, the New York Giants are on the board at this point, and they go ahead and grab Jalen Waddle. He fell a little bit, fell to 11. I think he's a great talent. Last year would have been the number 1 wide receiver off the board. The Giants are very happy to get him. He's a perfect complement to Kenny Golladay. Pick 12, the Eagles now on the clock are going to grab Devontae Smith. They moved down from 6, still grab the guy they maybe would have taken that high at pick 6 in Devontae Smith. I think this is a dream scenario for Philadelphia. Pick 13, the Los Angeles Chargers are here, and Brandon Staley opts to go grab a cornerback that fits his system. That is going to obviously be J.C. Horn, the cornerback out of South Carolina. He comes in. I think that's a very, very good grab for them. Pick 14, now we got the Minnesota Vikings. They opt for Christian Darrisaw, tackle out of Virginia Tech. He's going to come in, solidify the left side of their offensive line, and that allows them to keep Ezra Cleveland in at guard where he was so successful this past year. The Detroit Lions now at pick 15 after trading down still grab Micah Parsons, a player they could possibly take at 7 if they don't trade down. And I think this is a very, very good situation for them. They grab the best linebacker in this class, arguably. They get him at 15, also build up future assets to take care of this rebuild that they have going on in Detroit. Pick 16, we have another trade here. The New Orleans Saints move up all the way from 28 with the Arizona Cardinals. And the Saints here at 16 grab Caleb Farley, cornerback out of Virginia Tech. I love Caleb Farley. He's my cornerback 1 in this class. I think the Saints move up to 16, give up the assets in the future to do so, but he's a great grab. Pick 17, I've got the Las Vegas Raiders here. Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah goes off the board. They love to draft from big-time programs. Notre Dame is that, and Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah was their best player, and it's at a key position of need for the Raiders at linebacker. Pick 18, the Miami Dolphins on the clock. Remember, they grabbed Penei Sewell at 6. Here they'll grab Rashad Bateman, wide receiver out of U of M. He's a perfect grab. He fits perfectly into what they have with Will Fuller and also Devontae Parker. He can work the middle of the field. He's really good after the catch. Tested very well in his pro day. I don't think a lot of people were expecting him to run as well as he did. He is a very good NFL wide receiver, and I think he's going to be a very nice addition for the Dolphins. Pick 19, we got the Washington football team. They go with Tevin Jenkins, find a long-term tackle, someone who's going to be really good in the run game, has some traits where he can maybe grow as a passer, as a pass blocker yet. But at this point, at 19, Tevin Jenkins is the pick. Pick 20 here, we have the Chicago Bears. They'll go with Elijah Vera Tucker. They're looking for some versatility along that offensive line, someone who can maybe play a little bit of tackle, play a little bit of guard. Elijah Vera Tucker can do both for the Bears. Gives them a lot of flexibility moving into day 2 and 3 of the NFL draft. Pick 21, the Indianapolis Colts. We're looking tackle, but the board really dried out right in front of them. They go with Kadarius Toney, the speedster out of the University of Florida. I love what he brings. He's going to be able to operate out the slot, can operate out wide. I think he's going to be a very, very nice weapon in the NFL. Pick 22 now, the Tennessee Titans. I have them selecting Greg Newsome the second. I think this pick makes all the sense in the world. They lost all their starting cornerbacks. They need someone who's going to be able to come in and fill the key needs there at that point, probably edge too. 23, we have the New York Jets. They're looking at Jalen Phillips. He fell a little bit first edge off the board here for me in this first round mock, but I love what he brings. Great in the run game. I think has the traits where he could develop a little bit in the pass rush as well, and he goes 23rd overall. Pick 24, I'm looking at the Steelers here, and we've got Travis Etienne going off the board. For me, I chose Etienne because I think he's a better fit into the Steelers offense than a guy like Najee Harris is. He's going to be able to function out of the gun a little bit more efficiently, in my opinion, a little bit better of a pass catcher. Kind of reminds me of what Le'Veon Bell was for them. A little bit different, not quite the player Le'Veon was, but still going to be very, very good. Pick 25, the Jacksonville Jaguars. They go and take Trayvon Merrick at safety in this mock. I think that they opt for safety, finding someone who's going to be very good tackling downfield as a downhill tackler. He's going to be a nice addition next to Rashawn Jenkins in that secondary. The Browns at 26. We'll take Zaven Collins at linebacker, gives them some versatility, can play edge a little bit. Quality pass rusher, very good off blitzes. I think he's a nice grab for Cleveland. 27, I have the Ravens taking Terrace Marshall Jr. They need a wide receiver for Lamar Jackson. No better one than Terrace Marshall at this point. He's big, ran well at his pro day. He's going to be a nice player in the NFL. Pick 28, I have the Cardinals here, remember, from their trade with the New Orleans Saints. They take Eric Stokes here, a dress cornerback, pick up a day 2 pick as well in this, and also a future pick. And they still get a cornerback that's going to be very, very productive for them. They had questions about Caleb Farley if his health was going to fit into their timeline. Pick 29, the Packers are going to opt for Elijah Moore. They're feeling the pressure from Aaron Rodgers. They go ahead, take a wide receiver now at this point. Pick 30, the Bills here take Javonte Williams, running back out of UNC. I think he's a great fit into what Brian Dable wants to do. He's a compact runner. Physical, fits the draft history of what the Bills look for at running back, but he's going to be the best of the bunch there in Buffalo. Pick 31, the Ravens here now on the clock again. They'll take Azeez Ojulari. I know you love that fit. I think he's a great find there for Baltimore. I think he's the most NFL-ready pass rusher in this class from a physical pass rush standpoint. And at pick 32, I have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers taking Christian Barmore as he slides to the end of the first round. I was between him and Gregory Rousseau. I love both of those players as prospects. I think they're both going to be very good NFL players. The Buccaneers get their choice of those two at the end of the first round. Austin, what's your thoughts on the mock at this point?
Yeah, I think we were really close on a lot of it. You'll actually see quite a few even at the end somehow being the exact same. If you pan back to the very bottom of that here, you will see that I also had Azeez Ojulari at 31.
Terrace Marshall as well at 27.
So we had the Ravens picks the exact same.
You had Eric Stokes even go 28th to the Saints. I had him go 28th to the Cardinals. Wow, that is funny. I almost did mock Barmore to the Browns. I thought about it. We both had Trayvon Merrick there. Yeah. We both had Steelers go running back. You opted for Najee Harris. I think that it is a pick 'em at that point. Titans, you went wide receiver. I could see that as a real possibility as well. Liam Eichenberg, you had go in your first round. I did not have Liam Eichenberg. We both had Rashad Bateman go to the Dolphins.
Yeah, we did.
Owusu Koromoa both to the Raiders. We both had Washington get Tevin Jenkins.
Oh my gosh. Little disclaimer, we did not do this together.
No, so. He just did his down. I did mine a few hours ago. You had Caleb Farley go 16th overall, as did I. Very interesting. So we both had Stokes and Farley in the same spots, just switched teams.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
We have the same trade of the Patriots moving up to number 7.
Yeah, we both have Fields going to New England and Parsons going to Detroit. We both have Christian Darris out to the Vikings. Interesting. You have the Bears moving up. I did not see that earlier. Okay, so you have nice. I like that actually a lot. If the Bears move up with the Chargers, very interesting. You have Devontae Smith going before Jalen Waddle. That is an interesting difference. And you have Patrick Surtain going 9 to the Broncos still. Okay, so interesting.
Still on that kick. We are 4 minutes away from the NFL draft. At points in the draft, we will be turning up the TV. You guys can hear some of that echoed audio just so you kind of know what's going on and what we're hearing and how what we're reacting to, essentially. I'm going to grab the remote for that.
Hockey Man, welcome to the stream. Love having you guys in here. Means a lot. Let me know if you can get some of your friends also in the stream. That would be absolutely awesome. Share the link on Twitter. Share the link on Facebook if you guys want to. It would mean a lot to us here at Utility Sports. We love having your guys' support. You guys have killed it lately. With all the support you guys have shown us, it would mean a lot if we could get a little bit more support from you guys. We would really, really appreciate that. You guys have no idea how much it means to us. Jay Mouse says, we're taking a QB at 3 because since the Super Bowl, the 49ers were not sold on Jimmy Garoppolo being their guy. Yeah, we were talking about that very early on in the year, actually, during some of our mocks. And a lot of 49ers fans did not like us saying that. However, here we are. They're at pick 3 now, looking at all the different quarterback options. Aaron Rodgers via trade, Mac Jones, Trey Lance, Justin Fields in the draft. We'll see which one of those guys ends up being a San Francisco 49er. Again, thank you guys all for the support so much. It means a lot to us at this point, having your continued support at Utility Sports. We really do appreciate you guys. And at this point, we are just about 3 minutes out from the NFL draft. Again, thank you guys so much for all the support. And leave any comments you guys have right now in the chat. If you want to know who we think your team could be targeting at a certain spot, who we would take in certain scenarios, we would love to hear those in the chat right now. It would mean a lot to us if we could get that kind of support. Austin, did you shut off notifications yet at this point?
I need to yet. I might even go as far as putting airplane mode. Thank you so much for Brandon here. The Go Falcons. Yeah, I think your Falcons will be taking a guy like Kyle Pitts. I think he's the ultimate playmaker for the Atlanta Falcons, and they're going to get that ship in the right direction. I do believe that Arthur Smith is the right guy for them. We've been doing a lot of hard work going into this draft. We're really excited. We are only 2 minutes out, guys. Smash in the chat if you're ready to go, because we've had months and months of doing this. So many mock drafts, so much analysis, just a crazy amount going on right now. I need to make sure that I do turn off my notifications for Twitter. And also, if you guys haven't already, maybe you want to do that as well.
Yeah.
If you want to be surprised. Try not to play spoiler until we do hear the selection called. So we only have 1:30. That is absolutely insane.
90 seconds.
We are 90 seconds away from the Jacksonville Jaguars being on the clock, probably. I don't know exactly when. So
can you also tell Charged Up Sports to check his email here, because we will be joined by Charged Up Sports. That is our good friend Trayvon. For those of you who do not know him, make sure you go subscribe to him. His link to his channel is in our bio. So make sure to go check him out. At this point, we'd love for you guys to go show him some support. He's been absolutely awesome in his time here on our channel, and it would mean a lot. X, welcome to the stream.
Welcome.
Awesome having you in here. I knew we wouldn't go a stream without seeing you.
Very exciting.
Been great. Sid and C says Bengals aren't taking Penei Sewell. I don't think so either.
I don't think so either. I agree. I do agree. I think Jamar Chase is going to be the pick there, but we will have to see. We cannot jump to too many conclusions because there's a lot that can happen at pick 3 that impacts 4, that impacts 5, and it's just a domino effect after.
Here we are, 30 seconds out from the NFL draft here. I'm going to be starting this here. We will be back in 30 seconds. All right, guys, we are up to the NFL draft. It is just about to start commencing. Thank you guys again so much for all the support. It means a lot. Brandon, once again, thank you so much. And right about now, I want to introduce you guys to Charged Up Sports. How we doing, Trayvon? How we doing today?
Doing good. How are you guys?
Good.
I'm excited. I'm pumped up. It's so many months coming down to this one night. It's exciting.
It's just a lot of film has gone into this. A lot of watching the college football season. I watched a ton of games this year and really tried to dial in on some of these top prospects. Definitely watched a lot of that SEC football, so that should bode well for me. SEC always shows up during the draft, so a lot to love in this class. A lot of ifs though. That's part of it. We didn't get to see some of the players this year. It's been since 2019 since we've seen some of those guys. So
yeah, it has been. This is going to be an interesting draft because of the guys who were opt-outs. Players like Gregory Rousseau had all the production, has all the physical traits, and yet somehow is falling in this draft process. We'll see exactly where he lands, if he's a day 1 pick or a day 2 pick. I'm excited to find out. JRX, thank you so much for the donation. He says, ready for a great long stream. We are so excited to be working with you guys. Make sure to tell your friends and family. Get in the stream here. Anyone else, share it on your socials if you want. Also, make sure to check out our good friend Trayvon's new channel, Charged Up Sports. Link is in the description of our channel here on our video. We would love for you guys to go subscribe to him. He's going to be pushing out some great content as well. And obviously, you guys know him from some of his time here with us at Utility Sports, working on a few different things, some of our live streams and so on. Absolutely great football mind. Loves to talk the game. He's going to be a great place for you. Trayvon, what is one storyline for you to watch here tonight?
I think that we're gonna see Justin Fields go earlier than we think. I think that, maybe the Niners are gonna say we've been fooling you this whole entire time, and Justin Fields was a pick all along. You never know. I really just don't see them taking Mac Jones. I think that John Lynch is incredibly smart for a general manager, and I don't think that he'll opt to do that.
Welcome everyone to the stream. I think you are right about that, Trayvon. I think Justin Fields is going to be the name to watch. He is the big storyline. He's got all the physical traits. We'll see where he goes. T. Dellenbach says, missed you guys. Hey, we've missed you too, but the nice thing is you're getting Trevor Lawrence tonight, more than likely. And then also at pick 25, you're going to be adding in another good talent. I very much trust this football team. I trust Urban Meyer. Also, you got Tim Tebow possibly playing tight end next season. I'm all in on that.
All in.
I'm going to be getting a Tim Tebow Jacksonville Jaguars jersey. He was just waiting to play tight end until they said that numbers 1 through 90 could be tight end. He wants to be number 15 at tight end, I am sure.
Something that I do want to bring up, the most hyped day of the year for a lot of football fans is the NFL draft. But Tim Tebow, at 33 years old and a free agent who hasn't played football in years, stole the show with the headlines about announcing his potential decision to play for Jacksonville. That just kind of speaks volumes on how big of a personality and how famous he is.
He is a big time face. He's going to bring a lot of jersey sales probably back into his hometown there in Jacksonville. Remember, a few years back when he chose to go to the Jets, he did have the option of going to the Jacksonville Jaguars. At that point, opted to go to New York. However, now at this point, it does seem like we are going to see him as a Jaguar. Trayvon, 1 minute here, just yourself. Break down what you think the Chargers are going to do today and what Brandon Staley is going to leave his mark on day 1.
I think that if if what comes to with Jamar Chase going to the Bengals, I think once that happens, we're going to see a Chargers trade, and they're going to go up and get Penei Sewell, in my opinion. I don't think that that's very likely. You know, I'm praying. You know, I really want Penei, but I think that the Bengals will take him. But if he's not, then I have them. I predict the Chargers are going to go up and get him. If they stay put, then you look at a guy like Darrisaw, makes a lot of sense, and a guy maybe J.C. Horn. I would prefer Darrisaw just because I like later cornerbacks as well. I don't like as much as the later tackles in the draft. So it's going to be interesting to see. Another guy to watch is Caleb Farley if he falls out of the first round at all. You know, a lot of people are concerned. A lot of people think the Saints are going to move up. If the Saints go in the top 10, they're not moving up to a cornerback. Like, that's not what's going to happen. That's not what's happening.
It's interesting you say that. I do think it would be actually up for a cornerback. A few years back, they moved up for a DN named Marcus Davenport, so it wouldn't be out of the Saints' character to move up for a non-impact guy at the top end of the first round. Brandon the Jobber, thanks again for another donation here, says, so we got a Chargers fan. Yes, from Charged Up Sports, Trayvon is a Chargers fan. I myself am a New York Jets fan, and Austin, my co-host here at Utility Sports, is a Jaguars fan. I know a lot of great franchises here that we cheer on. The New York Jets, the best of the best, obviously, with our roster. We are a very, very fun organization to watch. Love our quarterback history. I've got a Ryan Fitzpatrick jersey on. T. Dellenbach, the winner of the jersey giveaway, was notified on the channel in our comments section, so that has already been sent out. They received it and everything.
We will be doing one in the future again, so keep striving for that, because we're kind of interested to see who you guys might potentially want as a jersey giveaway. We'll kind of get a feeling for what it is. So we are really close to the NFL draft start time. We've been waiting for months. They're going to milk out these Courtyard commercials and Pizza Hut commercials. Big advertisement slot for them here.
Not sponsored, by the way. Bones, welcome to the stream. He said, who's getting Aaron Rodgers? Packers fans for probably another year. I don't know. I would be surprised if they move on from him at least tonight, especially with the salary. You're looking at a June 1st question mark because at this point he would have a $37 million cap hit if they trade him before June 1st. They would end up losing cap space by trading him early. It just doesn't make sense. If they're going to move him, they're going to do their due diligence, work through a variety of trade offers. Remember, he's the reigning league MVP. I don't care how old he is. He's going to be a good quarterback for at least 4 or 5 more years. Any team that's lining up to get Aaron Rodgers, your starting point's at least 2, probably 3 first-round picks. I don't care how old he is. He's going to be a beast moving forward still. He just won league MVP. He's instant offense. I would be absolutely shocked if he gets moved today. It is becoming a little bit of a players' league. You are right about that, but that's a good thing. These players, they don't get to say the first 5 years of their career where they get to play. And at the end of the day, every other worker in America has the choice of where they want to live when they're doing certain jobs. So these players, I get that some people don't like it, but at the same time, you have to be able to understand that these players, maybe Aaron Rodgers wants to go back to his home state of California. I'm not exactly sure. I can't speak for Aaron Rodgers. But at the end of the day, it is his right to ultimately decide where he wants to play, especially when the organization won't commit to him on a contract extension. Brandon the Jobber brings another donation. Thanks again. Says, Saints do move from your spot. I don't like them. The Saints, I would be surprised if they move up. They're a team that, with their cap space situation, they're going to need to find a ways to bring in a lot of good young players on cheap contracts. Moving up doesn't seem to be the way to do that for me. What's your thoughts, Austin?
Yeah, I definitely don't think that's the move for them. They're going to be really, really strapped for cash the next couple of years by how they've structured their deals. They're going to have to release some guys. So I think it'd actually be wise for them to trade back and acquire more picks for this year and next year. But it seems like they are going in the opposite direction. So that will be kind of interesting to see how that plays out.
Yeah, we will see exactly how everything unfolds tonight. Make sure you guys hit the like button on the video. Yes, Trayvon, what do we got?
Remember to mute Bleacher Report as well. Because Bleacher Report might spoil it.
Yeah, we got all of our notifications off.
Oh, did you? I just did Twitter, and then I remembered that Bleacher Report does, I don't want them to get me.
Perfect. Make sure you guys are subscribed to us here at Utility Sports. We love having this collaborative platform with you guys. You guys have been absolutely awesome working with us. And also make sure to go sub to Charged Up Sports, link to his channel in our description. Trayvon, I'm going to be bringing some really premium Chargers content, also some NFL, NBA stuff, possibly expanding out into some MLB stuff as well. I'm not exactly sure, Trayvon, what your long-term plans are, if you want to talk just for a quick minute about what you're planning on doing at Charged Up Sports.
Yeah, I'm planning to make a bunch of different content. I'm going to have a lot of fantasy content coming up because I take fantasy football very seriously. I'm in a 20-man league again this year, so I do tons and tons of research, more than the average channel does for sure, because my draft goes so deep in a 20-man league. That's just insane. So I'm going to be doing a whole bunch of fantasy content as well as a little bit of NBA draft coming up very soon, and free agency and stuff, and trying to cover the large stories in sports, just giving my take on a few things.
Awesome. Well, thanks for that, Trayvon. Make sure you guys are subscribed to him if you haven't already. Link is in the description, like I said. And also, thanks again so much for stopping in to the live stream. We really appreciate having you guys in here. Each and every one of you means so much to us. Support here at Utility Sports has been insane. We haven't expected to hit 2,600 subscribers as quickly as we did. We thought, maybe we'll do this and never even get any subscribers. You guys have been absolutely awesome. It means so much to us. And we just are so thankful for all the support. Remember here, the draft order is coming across the bottom. Austin, in the first 16 picks, what do you think is one thing that we can guarantee as a lock other than quarterbacks in the top three? And what is one thing that you think will be a surprise factor?
For the surprise factor, I think Philly's going to do something. I think Philly is a team that, all of a sudden is kind of laying low in the weeds, but I think they're going to try to overcompensate for the whole Jalen Reagor thing last year, whether that be move up for a receiver or do something absolutely wild. I think that's something that could be a surprise. A lot. This is very bold, but I think New England will be moving up. That's very, very bold to assume that.
I feel very confident in that actually as well. You and I both mocked them moving up to 7 with the Detroit Lions. Trayvon, do you think New England moves up? Do you think they stay put, or do they trade back?
I think that they're probably looking. It just depends on how the board falls, really. I think that if let's say there is Justin Fields there, then I think that they'll go up. Or even Mac Jones, I think that they have a lot of picks in this draft. I don't remember how much, but I mean, they have a lot of draft capital. I know that for a fact from past. The commissioner's coming out right now. It's about time.
Let us know in the comments if you guys can hear the TV audio at this level.
As you can see, I have a few friends here with me. Let me introduce them, even though they don't need to be introduced to the Ready fans. First, Jarvis Landry. Bernie Kosar. Come on. Big Joe Thomas.
We do have a big report that Aaron Rodgers could be on his way to the Denver Broncos. The Broncos war room right now is super geared up. Possibly could be going on. I think they're focused on the draft, though. However,
holy cow! So possibility that we have Aaron Rodgers landing with the Denver Broncos. My guess is draft pick compensation would have to be insane for them to be moving on this quickly. Austin, what's your thoughts on the initial reports there?
Yeah, pretty crazy. I think this is insane. I was somewhat expecting Denver to make a move, but was not fully prepared on that.
Okay, now we have a conflicting report saying that Denver is not after Aaron Rodgers. Sounds like there is some confusion on what's going on. We will have to monitor that. To be honest, my guess is Denver probably is after Aaron Rodgers. I think that it would be surprising if they aren't. I mean, they're a quarterback-needy team. Many think that they could win a Super Bowl. I don't really see that, but if they had Aaron Rodgers, they get added into that conversation almost immediately. Again, Brandon, thank you so much for another donation. You've been absolutely killing it. We really do appreciate that. Also, just is awesome having you in here. I'm glad you're a new subscriber. And obviously you are an Atlanta Falcons fan, so that'll be awesome. Also, let us know, do you like the Atlanta Hawks as well? Are you into some other sports? We do a lot of other stuff on the channel as well. Obviously, tonight's going to be all football, but we'd love to know if you're fans of other teams as well. We're trying to memorize every team of our subscribers here, just so we can bring the best content for you.
Joe Thomas is now on the podium right now, trying to hype up that Cleveland crowd. A lot going on here. So let us know in the comment section below, what's the biggest surprise going to be?
Very interesting here at this point. I'm going to have to be pushing back some stuff here, Austin. Talking about Aaron Rodgers a little bit more, where is the best landing spot for him, and what are some of the worst?
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers, definite number one spot would be San Francisco. I think that makes a lot of sense for them to go after Aaron Rodgers and just push for the Super Bowl potentially. So that's something that we got to monitor moving forward. Obviously, I mean, Denver's an okay landing spot. They do have some pretty nice weapons. Noah Fant, Cortland Sutton. They do have Jerry Jeudy as well. So a lot to like.
They do have a lot indeed. I think that San Francisco is a dream scenario for a lot of quarterbacks at this point, just based on what the reality is with them.
We are on the clock. Jacksonville is on the clock. Shout out to Jaguar Nation for the 10 fans that are out there like me. Here we go.
Here at now pick one, like you said, Jacksonville's on the clock. Our top team needs for the Jaguars are quarterback. Obviously, a very, very big need there at that position. That's going to probably be addressed here, pick one. Safety as well for pick 25, tight end, offensive tackle, interior offensive line, and linebacker. Those are the positions to watch for the Jacksonville Jaguars. We'll see exactly which way they go about addressing those positions of need at this point. Let's go ahead and push some of these back a little bit more.
Jaguars' second worst winning percentage in the NFL since 2008, 30% win percentage. Top 10 picks in 13 of the last 14 drafts. That is most in the NFL. And there's not a lot you can say about this team because they've been horrible. But that's part of the beauty of football. Here we go, Trevor Lawrence with his now wife getting ready to share the moment of him being drafted. Looks pretty happy right now. I'm getting a little happy right now too, seeing him potentially as my quarterback. Like this is so impressive. I just want to make note, Trevor Lawrence has never lost a regular season game in high school or college,
and is going to continue to the NFL. Chat, get ready to clip Austin's reaction to Trevor Lawrence's name getting called. His upper lip sweat is going to be insane. He's going to be super excited about it. So that'll be awesome. It'll be an awesome memory for us to have on the channel as well.
And if it's not Trevor Lawrence, you're going to see somebody really crabby. Really crabby. So, Trayvon, are you ready to go? You ready to see Jacksonville draft Trevor Lawrence?
Yeah, I'm ready to just get it over with. Let's go to pick 4 already. pick 3, excuse me, because we already know.
Well, I mean, there's a lot that's going to go on. Right now, they're showing the comparisons of John Elway, Peyton Manning, kind of quarterback, Andrew Luck. There's so much to like about Trevor Lawrence as a prospect. His frame, just really cool stuff. And obviously, they came up short this year from a national championship, but they had a really impressive run.
Yes, they did. They were very impressive as well. Trevor Lawrence is going to be an excellent quarterback on the NFL level. He's coming in at a near 6'6" frame. He has the arm, has the footwork. He's going to be a great quarterback. Austin, why is he such a transcendent quarterback? What makes him special? And do you think he is for sure the number one QB in this class?
He has really good size, obviously. Really good arm. One of his best qualities, you could say, is he's a super composed quarterback. He was obviously a winner, but that's a team thing. That is a team thing, but he did some really nice things with his legs too. So he's an underrated athlete on top of all of that. So love what Trevor Lawrence has to bring. I'm just so gassed up right now that it's about to happen.
Yes, that will be very exciting for you, Austin. Trevor Lawrence is going to be more than likely a Jacksonville Jaguar. I would be absolutely surprised if he wasn't. We do not have official word on that yet, but it just seems like the truth. What is going to be the case? Trevor Lawrence is going to more than likely be a Jacksonville Jaguar at the end of the day, and the draft is underway, guys. We've got 6 minutes until the pick is in, unless Jacksonville gets it in early, obviously. I mean, they've been on the clock now for about 4 months at this point, so we'll see if they do end up getting their pick in and having it be Trevor Lawrence. Austin, on the small chance it's not Trevor Lawrence, how upset would you be?
You're going to see it. I don't even want to think about it because I don't want to drive up my blood pressure any more than it needs to be tonight. So I would be furious. I mean, obviously, I think Zach Wilson's a very good prospect, but I do believe that Trevor Lawrence will be the better player. Yes, we do have that on stream, so you can use that later.
That'll be perfect. I'm going to have to utilize that later. Austin's going to be switching up his tone real quick. Austin seems to like to kind of lift my Jets players up a little bit in the light that he talks about them. He acts like we weren't just a 2-14 team ourselves, and we just decided to win at the end of the season when we decided that the stakes for Trevor Lawrence at that point were no longer worth fighting for when we were in the lead situation to land Trevor Lawrence. It will be interesting to exactly see who lands where at what point, but now here at this spot, the Jaguars, 5 minutes left on the clock for their pick. Let us know in the chat, outside of Trevor Lawrence, who is your favorite player in this year's draft class? We're interested to hear who you guys like. We have some of our own favorites. Austin, I know your favorite is probably going to be Trevor Lawrence.
Trevor Lawrence is my favorite prospect. There's plenty of other guys in this class that I do like. Obviously, I like Jamar Chase. I love LSU. Jamar Chase is probably my favorite overall prospect, but I do love myself some Trevor Lawrence. Now I know you're all in on Zach Wilson. Obviously, he's going to be a New York Jet. Is that kind of sinking in yet?
I think it is. I feel really good about it, which is a surprising thing because I know for many of you might look at me and say, oh, well, it's a Jets fan. Of course, you're going to like Zach Wilson. Historically, I haven't liked a lot of the quarterbacks the New York Jets have targeted. I was anti-Geno Smith coming out of West Virginia. I was anti-Sam Darnold coming out of USC. To be honest, 8-year-old me probably would have been anti-Mark Sanchez had I been a little bit more into the draft when I was an 8-year-old. Honestly, I've just been very, very anti-New York Jet quarterback, despite being a Jets fan, and that's because we've had such a terrible track record at that position. My favorite New York Jet quarterback to ever play is Ryan Fitzpatrick, and my second favorite is Tim Tebow, to give you an idea of how much struggle I've had as a quarterback fan during the NFL draft, during my time as a Jets fan. It's been tough. So those are the reasons why. Christopher Tolbert here talking about the players he's a fan of. He says Tevin Jenkins, Greg Newsome II, and Jalen Phillips. That is a very good group. Very diverse as well. It's interesting you have an offensive lineman on there. Most people don't, so that's awesome to see, Christopher.
I think the NFL told Jacksonville that they have to milk some of the clock for some commercials, some opportunity for endorsements. Jacksonville right now, they've had their pick for quite some time now. They are just going to wait to announce it, and Trevor Lawrence is trying to prepare where that camera is, where he needs to look when he is kissing his girl or now wife. Really exciting times. I'm sweaty. That's all I can say right now.
I'm sweaty.
Austin is going to be very, very excited once Trevor Lawrence is officially a Jacksonville Jaguar. I think he's going to be the clear and obvious best player from this class. He's got the pedigree, he's got the physicals, and he's going to be a great player, bringing hopefully a winning culture along with new head coach Urban Meyer there to Jacksonville, a place that badly needs that winning culture. Trayvon, what's your thoughts on Jacksonville's future?
It's really bright. Like anytime you get your quarterback, you could just have other things just fall into place, and that's what is going to be in Jacksonville. You got your head coach, and now you get your quarterback of the foreseeable future. Hopefully he can put talent around him, because obviously the first 5 years of a quarterback's career are extremely important. That's when you want to start to contend and start to go towards a Super Bowl, because you get them on such a cheap deal. If Trevor Lawrence plays lights out, we could be looking at him as the new Patrick Mahomes, probably breaking Patrick Mahomes' record for a contract.
Yeah, that if he is everything he's supposed to be, the pick is in now for Jacksonville. we will keep our eyes on it here.
Oh,
Yeah, and Trayvon, you might want to turn us down. We are probably ahead of you.
yeah, you are. Yeah, you
Yep.
are. I will for sure.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
you're probably going to want to put us on mute, to be honest. You're going to.
I am.
Okay. Yep. Because we are going to be spoiling all the picks otherwise for you.
Right now, pick 2 is on the clock. The New York Jets are going. Jacksonville is yet to officially announce the pick. Ready to go.
To announce it shortly. It is a moment that we have all known was coming for quite some time. Again, tonight is a night that is going to change dramatically after pick number 2. This is something of a coronation for Trevor Lawrence here, and we have quite a good idea where the New York Jets will go after that. And then after once we get to San Francisco,
They might milk out one more commercial before that pick. We'll see.
One of the most highly decorated college quarterbacks of all time. One of the most anticipated college quarterbacks of all time on his way to the NFL. And Roger Goodell on his way to the microphone. He will announce.
Roger Goodell is supposedly on his way to the mic very soon, very soon. They are really trying to milk this out for the anticipation. Here he comes to the podium to officially announce
All right, I'm muting now.
for Jacksonville.
With the first pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, the Jacksonville Jaguars select Trevor Lawrence.
There it is. It's official. Trevor Lawrence to Jacksonville. He looks very thrilled. I'm really excited to watch him with Urban Meyer. This is huge.
That's awesome.
That is impressive. I'm glad that the Jags out-tanked the Jets.
Yeah, go Jets. Yeah, let's put on. And Trayvon finally gets to the pick here. The Jacksonville Jaguars have selected quarterback Trevor Lawrence out of Clemson University, a very, very good grad here at this point. He was the surefire, obvious number 1 pick. They didn't overthink it. They didn't question their scouting department. They didn't question the obvious number 1 pick. They went ahead, pulled the trigger. Now we have the Jets on the clock here with pick 2. Not going to say this is unfamiliar territory for this franchise. We've been up here before. We've had opportunities with guys like Darnold. Just hasn't worked out. Now at this point, hopefully we have the right player. My guess is going to be Zach Wilson. Austin, is it going to be Zach Wilson here?
It's going to be Zach Wilson. That's a fact. Obviously, they traded away Sam Darnold. They're ready to move on to that next era. Joe Douglas will get his guy. And thank you again, Brandon. The pick heard around the world. I mean, my clapping was loud enough for everyone.
Yes.
Because shout out to Jacksonville Nation. I'm so excited for the future of this team. I've been very pessimistic up to this point. I think we're heading in the right direction. I'm really excited for Urban Meyer. I think he's an absolute right fit for this football team. But, yeah, go ahead and post that comment. Shine Trevor Lawrence. I hope he's going to shine. He's got every opportunity to do so. Now, the New York Jets have Zach Wilson right in their sight lines. Are they going to make that pick, or do they shock everyone and go Justin Fields?
Yeah, is Justin Fields on the Jets' radar here? I know that sounds crazy, but Joe Douglas has proven to be someone who really likes physical traits and really finding guys who are athletic as well. He did that last year, Mekhi Becton. But like you said, shine Trevor Lawrence. He lands in the Sunshine State there in Florida with the Jacksonville Jaguars, and this is a perfect scenario. He's going to turn around that franchise. He's a winner. He has a winning head coach, and they're going to make big strides there in Jacksonville in what's going to be a complete facelift for that franchise. I really, really like that for the New York Jets, or for the Jacksonville Jaguars, sorry. And I really like what we're going to see here for the New York Jets. The pick should be Zach Wilson. If it's not, I'm going to be upset. Justin Fields has a lot of good traits. But Zach Wilson should be the surefire second overall pick. Now, do I have him as the number 2 player on my board? No, but he's the number 2 quarterback on the board. And not having Sam Darnold anymore means we're clearly going quarterback. Austin, what's your thoughts? Zach Wilson, does he turn the Jets around long-term, or is it just more of the same?
I think he does have an opportunity to do so, but now it's on the Jets' part to really get a dynamic receiver. I mean, they did sign Corey Davis. A lot of Jets fans thought that was an A+++ move, but I'm going to be honest, you need to have a number one receiver. Obviously, they have Jamison Crowder right now. They have Denzel Mims and Corey Davis in the fold. Keelan Cole as another one of their receivers, but they need to go out and get another guy. I wouldn't be super content, settling as Corey Davis as your one.
Yeah, I would not be either. I'm a little bit more pessimistic than other Jets fans looking at the Corey Davis signing. I think that he definitely makes us better, but I don't think for that price tag he's going to be a number one wide receiver. But I guess we'll see exactly how the board plays out. Maybe at 23 we come in, grab another good receiver who can develop into that wide receiver one, someone like Rashad Bateman, maybe Terrace Marshall. I don't necessarily see that as the most likely thing, but would I love that? Yes, I definitely would be very ecstatic to see that. At the next level, I think that would be the best situation if possible. We'll see exactly how everything plays out here. Pick number 2, we have 3.5 minutes left on the clock at this point. We will see exactly.
Joe Douglas is on the phone right now, whether he's calling in the pick or a potential trade. I would be very shocked if he did trade at this point in the draft, but I believe he is calling it in. Zach Wilson looks ecstatic. He's going to be the face of New York. He's going to be a bigger star than Daniel Jones. That's a fact.
Yeah, if he's not, we're going to have some problems, to be completely honest. Christopher Tolbert says Joe Douglas is on the phone trading for Aaron Rodgers. That would be interesting. We'd have a little bit of that Brett Favre 2.0 storyline going on with a QB spending 16 years in Green Bay, then getting traded to the New York Jets. Just like what happened with Favre, we would see the same thing here happening with Aaron Rodgers. And boy, oh boy, does Zach Wilson's arm shine, can make throws outside the numbers. He's going to be a very, very good NFL quarterback, in my opinion. Trayvon, what's your thoughts on Zach Wilson? Is he the next Jets quarterback?
I think that what benefits him the most is that he's played at BYU and he's used to playing with lesser talent around him that might not be up to par his first couple years. No offense, But I think that will serve him very well. You know what I mean? I think he's one of the more natural throwers in this draft for sure. Like he has a beautiful, beautiful ball. Really almost reminds you of like an Aaron Rodgers as they're actually showing him type ball. You know what I mean? But I don't know. Again, it's what Austin said. They have to put players around him in order for him to succeed ultimately at the end.
Right. We do have to continue building up this roster, but I think quarterback is the starting point. The pick is in here for the New York Jets. I'm glad to see Joe Douglas move on from Sam Darnold. I think Zach Wilson is the pick here. If he's not, I'd be surprised. And I think he's finally the right pick for my New York Jets. You guys have no idea how excited I am to see Zach Wilson's name called, assuming that is the name. Otherwise, you're going to have a little bit of an upset Sheldon the rest of the stream.
All right, I'm muting.
We'll stay monitored on this. At this point, the Jets here at 2. Who will they grab? Pick is in. We do not have the commissioner up to the podium quite yet. Austin, what's your grade for the Jacksonville Jaguars real quick on short? Never mind. We have Goodell coming up to the podium. I got to soak this all in. This is going to go up on my Snapchat story as well.
Roger Goodell is walking to the podium still. And he did show the fan on the seat. I'm not exactly sure what's going on with that leather chair there.
With the second pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, the New York Jets select Zach Wilson, quarterback, BYU.
Zach Wilson is the selection.
Let's go.
Zach Wilson is the selection from BYU. He's at the draft. We're going to get to see him with the Jets hat on. Ooh, looking clean.
He looks so nice. Oh, I've got a man crush right now on Zach Wilson, the quarterback of the future for the New York Jets. I am so happy right now. This is a dream come true. He's the best player I could have asked for after losing out on Trevor Lawrence. Let's go, guys. We just need to enjoy this now. At this point, very, very, very happy to see exactly how this has played out. At this point, I couldn't wish for anything better. Honestly, He's our quarterback, and I'm very, very happy. Trayvon, did you get the pick yet?
Yep.
Awesome. What is that, Trayvon?
No, I was waiting for you to say something. I'm sorry.
Okay, yeah, got you. I'm very happy to see that Zach Wilson is a New York Jet. We didn't mess up the pick. We got our guy. Very, very happy. Kyle here says, Trayvon, my dude. Welcome to the stream, Kyle. Also, make sure you guys go check out Trayvon's channel. Link is in the description. Charged Up Sports. Go sub to him right now. And the pick is in for number 2. The New York Jets select quarterback Zach Wilson. Very, very excited about this. It is the dream scenario. And I just couldn't be happier, honestly, at this point. I think this is played out the way it needed to.
Yeah, so very, very exciting for the New York Jets. Obviously, Zach Wilson. Now the big question is at number 3, what's going to happen with San Fran? This is where the draft really, really begins. Now, there's going to be a lot of hectic things that happen after, so super excited. I'm wondering, is it going to be Mac Jones? Is it going to be Trey Lance? I think it's down to those two, like they had mentioned. But I think Trey Lance is probably who they're zeroing in on. They came to a collective decision. They're ready to go. San Fran could be in for a lot of hate, though, from their fan base if they take Mac Jones.
Yes, they could be in for a world of hurt from their fan base. Edgar V, welcome to the stream, as well as Chris Tolbert. I know you were in here a little bit earlier. Welcome to the stream again. Edgar, love having you in here. Go Raiders. We'll see who they grab.
I wouldn't believe it when the day happened, but this is exactly what I was hoping for. I'm so excited for the opportunity. I know we're going to have something special, and so I can't wait to get to work.
It's been so long since we saw a player here take that walk and then greet the commissioner. Can you describe what that's like for you?
You know what? The whole situation is still so surreal for me. I'm soaking in every moment. I'm looking around, and this is a blast. This is a dream come true for me.
Zach, New York, it's a big stage. What is it about your personality, your mentality, that you know you're the right fit?
Yeah, I know these guys need a good quarterback, a good leader, and I think I got those qualities, and I can't wait to go in there. I love the coaching staff. I love everything they have to offer, and I can't wait to get to New York City.
Zach, congratulations.
Really, really exciting stuff. Zach Wilson is a New York Jet. Both of our teams do get the quarterback. Now we're waiting for Trayvon's team to ultimately make a move when it is their time to pick.
We'll see.
So much fun here. San Francisco, 4 minutes left on the clock for them.
Chris, welcome to the stream as well. I saw earlier today on our channel you'd said you would be in here. Love having you in here. Thanks again for all the support that you show on our other videos and also our live streams. And looking at the Jets' first-round quarterbacks in the draft history, Joe Namath back in 65, Richard Todd 76, Ken O'Brien in 1983, Chad Pennington in the year 2000, Mark Sanchez 5th overall in 2009, Sam Darnold, of course, 3rd overall 2018, and now Zach Wilson, the one we're finally getting right. Again, since first time since Chad Pennington probably, and the real first time since Joe Namath. So I'm very thankful in that. I think that this is the right move. Chris here says, yes, sir, I think Lance at 3. He thinks Lance here. I think Mac Jones. Who do you think?
I think Lance here. I don't know if they could have really truly moved up for 3. I was one of the leaders on Mac Jones being at 3, being the guy at 3. I've kind of backed off of that stance. I think they convinced Shanahan to ultimately go with Trey Lance, who's got great upside, needs some infrastructure around him. He could be an awesome selection at 3. San Fran is clapping in their war room. I'm sure things are a little uneasy there trying to make that decision. And I think San Fran fans better brace themselves if it's Mac Jones.
My everything, I have a feeling it is Mac Jones. That's what I put in my mock. Jared X thinks Lance. He agrees with you, Austin. Trayvon, is it Mac Jones? Or is it Trey Lance, or are they surprising everyone with Justin Fields?
I'm going to go with Justin Fields for the pick. That's my prediction.
Okay, so Charged Up Sports here brings a little bit of a hot take, doesn't buy into the rumors and the reports. He's saying Justin Fields. My gut tells me it is Mac Jones, quarterback out of Alabama. I think what happened was Kyle Shanahan, John Lynch got excited working the phones, made a trade, didn't even know who they wanted yet. And then they're like, can we try and get Aaron Rodgers at least? And then that's it. It didn't work out. And I think right now they're a little nervous. They're going to pretend to be happy they got Mac Jones at pick 3. Probably would have been there at 12. Maybe could have moved up to 6 or 7 instead. We'll see. I think it's Mac Jones. If it's Trey Lance, that's more understandable moving up. But we'll see who it is. Chris Tolbert thinks it's Mac Jones. We will see exactly who the selection is. They're showing some Mac Jones highlights right now on the ESPN broadcast, Austin. Are you feeling confident it's Trey Lance?
I'm feeling confident it's Trey Lance, but if they take Mac Jones, I might laugh a little bit. I'm sorry, 49er fans. I'm not a believer in Mac Jones. Trayvon, who is an Alabama fan, doesn't even really believe in Mac Jones. Do I have that thought correct?
No, I believe in him. I just don't think that he's I don't think that he's number 3 overall material.
Okay. That's what I'm referring to. Like, do you think he's worth it here?
No, I do not. I don't think he's worth you trading up all that way and giving up all that draft capital for Jimmy Garoppolo 2.0 or Kirk Cousins 2.0. Like, I don't really see that.
Yeah, this is an interesting turn of events for San Francisco. Remember, a few years ago, they were rumored to be in on Kirk Cousins. Then they made the trade at the deadline in that losing season for Jimmy Garoppolo, kind of pushed themselves back, ended up making a Super Bowl in the strength of that defense. Now the question has turned to quarterback. We were ahead of everyone at Utility Sports saying they're going to look QB. They're going to look QB. People memed us for weeks about that, saying they're not going to look at Jimmy Garoppolo. George Kittle likes Jimmy Garoppolo. LOL this, LOL that. Okay, I mean, here they are at pick 3, and I'm sure they're taking a quarterback. Probably going to be Mac Jones, and then I'll be the one LOLing at everyone else because he's quarterback, 3rd overall. I swear to God, if they take Mac Jones, I'm going to be very, very happy. Because I got memed a lot time of the 49ers replacing Jimmy Garoppolo, and they're going to do it with his younger brother, Mac Jones. So we'll see kind of how everyone else is feeling at that point. Jared X says pick is in. Yes, it is. We will see who San Francisco lands. Austin, are you still feeling good about Trey Lance?
I'm sticking with Trey Lance. I don't think they could have, in their right mind, moved up to number 3 for Mac Jones. I'm going to go based off of logic and what should be true for them. I think Trey Lance should be the pick. But I felt really confident in Mac Jones, and then I'm on Lance. But I mean, maybe I should have just stuck with my gut because here we go.
Here we are. Roger Goodell is walking to the podium. Right. Who will he announce?
Do not react until you see me react.
2021 NFL.
I guess it doesn't matter.
The San Francisco 49ers select Trey Lance, quarterback, North Dakota State.
Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. They select quarterback Trey Lance. Trey Lance is the pick. I think the media scared him off of Mac Jones. Yep. Now the question turns to New England. Who will the Patriots draft? Are they going to move up? Trey Lance was the selection. Now the eyes turn to Justin Fields. Will Mac Jones slide? This is the big question mark. Austin, are you 3 for 3 on your mock draft?
I'm 3 for 3 right now. I'm kind of a hazard.
You are. He is the mock draft wizard. Everyone spam wizard in the chat right now for Austin. He is the mock draft wizard. I'll go ahead and throw one in as well. And honestly, there is no bigger winner at this point than San Francisco 49ers fans. I know I was just memeing you guys just a few minutes ago, but if I were you guys and I took Mac Jones, I'd be on Sudoku watch. So honestly, you got to be pretty happy with getting Trey Lance here. I think that he makes a lot of sense from an athletic frame, what he's going to be for the San Francisco 49ers. Austin, break down everything Trey Lance brings to San Francisco.
Really good athletic traits, has a very, very good arm, has some accuracy issues. Thank you, Jared, for calling me a wizard. Sean likes to meme me by saying that. Anyway, really good arm, has some issues with accuracy. Every once in a while, he will have some issues there, but in his last full season, 28 touchdowns, no picks, did a really nice job not turning it over, but so much to like about Trey Lance, and for the 49ers, that could be a huge move moving forward.
Yes, it really could be. This is the move that the 49ers need to make. We've been talking about how they need to upgrade at quarterback. And I think this also probably guarantees that Jimmy Garoppolo is on their roster this year, and not only on their roster, but probably starts at least the first 8 weeks of the season, is my guess. I think Trey Lance is someone who's going to be benefited by having a little bit of time to learn the position at the NFL, learn a new playbook. I just think he's not really NFL ready for week 1. He's going to get some time now with Jimmy Garoppolo still being their quarterback. And this kind of makes sense with the reports we've been seeing that the New England Patriots aren't going to probably bring in Jimmy Garoppolo. This turns our attention to Justin Fields, Mac Jones and the New England Patriots, who are they going to move up or not? We will see. Chris, very, very excited, says, let's go. I had a gut feeling. Glad you had a good feeling about this. Trey Lance is very good pick. I really like Trey Lance. I had him top 15 on my big board overall, and that's without positional bias. Obviously, him being a quarterback pushes up his value quite a bit when you look at it with a positional basis. Trayvon, what's your thoughts on Trey Lance landing in San Francisco?
I think ultimately this probably was their guy. I don't think that they were looking at Mac Jones. Like I said, you don't go up in the draft and give up, what did they give up? 3 first-round picks for the same player you have on roster, you know. He's perfect. He'll learn behind Jimmy G, and it gives Kyle Shanahan something to look forward to. A little more of a mobile player, really reminds me of Herbert. Funny enough, like the big, strong kid, strong arm, can run with his feet, and Carson Wentz as well.
Right.
Absolutely.
The NDSU polls there obviously help with that comparison a little bit at Trey Lance. And I guess this does make a lot of sense with hindsight here. I'm thinking about when they went to Trey Lance's pro day, they moved up to pick 3 prior to the pro days of Mac Jones and Justin Fields. That should have been a big tell that they had a big preference for Trey Lance. I didn't really take that into as much consideration, but with hindsight here, I'm clearly seeing that Austin, obviously being the mock draft wizard, knew exactly where the 49ers were going to go. Austin, I'm expecting a 32 out of 32 here. Everyone, I know you guys already spammed wizard, but let's do it one more time for Austin here. Hats off to the mock draft wizard himself, Austin. You've been doing an absolutely great job with all your coverage this year. We will see now who the Atlanta Falcons select at pick 4, Austin. Who do you think it will be?
I have Kyle Pitts going here. I think Atlanta, if they don't move, they're going to take arguably the best player available. They don't need a wide receiver right now, so they won't be going with Jamar Chase. They will be going Kyle Pitts from Florida. Great pass catcher, wonderful catch radius, phenomenal athlete. Now, Atlanta could shock us and do something crazy. This has been kind of a fluid pick throughout the entire year. Are they going to go quarterback? Are they going to go edge? Are they going to go with a tight end? There's so many different things that go into this. Really, really crazy stuff here. Atlanta's got 3 minutes to pick. Currently, love this. Absolutely love this. So far, it has not disappointed. The draft has been phenomenal. I'm super, super excited with what's going on here.
This is the best day of the year for NFL coverage. NFL draft gives everyone hope. I know you were talking about this earlier, Austin. And we are seeing the last time QBs were taken 1, 2, 3 in the same class. It was Tim Couch, Donovan McNabb, and Achilles Smith. Hopefully we're not seeing the same trajectory here. The pick is in for Atlanta. They are not moving this selection. We will see ultimately who it ends up being. Austin, do you have an idea? Are you leaning Kyle Pitts, or do you think quarterback is a possibility?
I think because Matt Ryan's under contract for 2 more years, I think they're going to go ahead and take Kyle Pitts. However, I would not be shocked if we go ahead and see Justin Fields selected at 4. I'm going to go Kyle Pitts, though.
Kyle Pitts is your thought. I am going to also opt for Kyle Pitts. I think he's the safe, clear, and obvious selection here for the Atlanta Falcons. Trayvon, what say you?
We're going to go Kyle Pitts, 84. Best play in the draft. Mark it down.
Yeah, me and Trayvon were in a little bit of a disagreement during or off stream, actually. Trayvon thinks Kyle Pitts is the best player in the class. I think the best non-quarterback in the class myself is Jamar Chase. I think he's the number 1 wide receiver, the number 1 pass catcher, and I think he's the most transformative player. I think that Kyle Pitts is going to be really, really good. I think he's the second best non-quarterback in the class, but I have a preference for Jamar Chase. Let us know who you think is the best player in the class at outside of the quarterbacks. I'd love to hear. Jer X, thank you for spamming wizard in the. I'm gonna go ahead and put it in here myself one more time for Austin, the mock draft wizard himself. Been absolutely killing it all year, though. Austin, you've been doing such a great job.
Roger Goodell is making his way to the podium. Trayvon, if you want to mute, everybody get ready for this. Atlanta's a big pivot point in this class.
I know I can't hear you, but I'm so nervous right now because I want Kyle Pitts.
Very much nervous. Will Kyle Pitts fall past 4? The pick is in. Here we go.
With the 4th pick,
I'm gonna cover this because I know you're gonna put up the selection, so I'm gonna do this.
Falcons select Kyle Pitts.
They didn't mess up the pick. They go ahead. They do the expected here. They make the right move. They select tight end Kyle Pitts out of the University of Florida. Hopefully Trayvon did not just look at the thing and ruin the pick for himself. But, guys, this was the pick that needed to be made for Atlanta. This is an easy A+, right, Austin?
Yeah, absolutely. I love the selection. They didn't feel compelled to take a backup quarterback. Welcome home, Kyle. Congrats to you, Brandon. Really, really great prospect. You're going to love him. You should be so hyped right now. I think Kyle Pitts is a phenomenal talent, top 3 player in the entire class, great catch radius, phenomenal athlete. They compare him to Darren Waller. I think he definitely has more upside than Darren Waller.
I think he's going to be Darren Waller pretty quickly into his career and then probably past Darren Waller.
Absolutely. He can win outside. He can win inside. There's not a lot of times you're going to see him actually lined up at tight end. He is a wide receiver primarily. So there's so much to like about him. It's crazy. It's crazy. Atlanta, they did the right thing. They really wanted to go ahead and stay at that spot. They had a lot of offers to move down. However, they opted to take one of the best players in the class at 4.
They did the right thing. They went through this. We're looking for a massive, massive price tag on the 4th overall pick, and that's exactly what they should have done. They got a transformative player at the tight end position, someone who's going to be a beast. He's going to make this offense very, very lethal. Now, I've got some questions about their defense. They need some help at safety, help at edge. But Kyle Pitts is the easy, surefire home run pick here. Very, very safe pick. He's going to be a phenomenal, phenomenal player in the NFL. I very firmly believe that. As an Atlanta Falcons fan, Brandon, you should be ecstatic right now. This is the perfect situation. Chris here says, Kyle, let's go. He got a home in Atlanta. That is exactly right. This is a perfect landing spot. And now at this point, these Cincinnati Bengals are on the clock at pick 5.
Please take Jamar.
We have their 2 big needs at offensive tackle and wide receiver. And like Trayvon said, I think that they should take Jamar Chase. There's no reason to not put the LSU wide receiver with your LSU quarterback. Last time we saw those 2 together, they went perfect through the college football season in the SEC, won the national title game, and they're good buddies as well. I'm sure Joe Burrow's been whispering in the Cincinnati Bengals GM ear all offseason long, get me Jamar Chase. We'll see if they do opt for that or if they go offensive tackle. Both are real viabilities at this point. Austin, if you're Cincinnati, I know you would take Jamar Chase if you're running them, but who do you think they will take?
I think they're going to take Jamar Chase. I think they're going to feel really compelled to go ahead and take the second best player in the class. I really love his game. I think that Jamar Chase is going to be an elite wide receiver at the next level, has the physicals. There's so much to like about him. Phenomenal route runner. Let's hear Kyle Pitts.
Yeah, we have Kyle Pitts here in an interview.
I've been waiting for that call my whole life. And when I see my phone ring, it just felt my heart drop. It's just step one into the right direction. So I can't wait to get to Atlanta and start a new journey.
From head coach Dan Mullen to our Malcolm Jr., they call you a unicorn. So playing it now, what do you hope to accomplish in the NFL?
I hope to accomplish a lot. I have a lot of goals that I want to reach, and I think with time, strength, and just mental, I think I'll reach.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Susie.
Kyle Pitts is crossing the Florida-Georgia line heading into Atlanta. I really like this for the Falcons. And now our attention shifts to the Cincinnati Bengals. Where they draft Zach Wilson looks really good in jet green. I am very excited about that. This has been going very, very well. Now we'll just, for the rest of my night, I just need to see the Chargers miss on there. No, I'm just kidding, Trayvon. Just messing with you a little bit here. Hopefully the Chargers go ahead and make a good move for their franchise. Chris997 thinks Jamar Chase is the pick, but he thinks they should go Sewell. There is a big divide on those 2 trajectories for the Cincinnati Bengals. A lot want them to go get a tackle. The others say go get the best player available, Jamar Chase. We'll see exactly which way they go. Jerger X says kitty goes meow. Bengals on the clock. We'll see exactly who they go ahead and grab here at this point. There'll be a lot of fun to watch moving forward. The Bengals, 2 big needs. Trayvon, I know that you would opt for Penei Sewell if you're Cincinnati. Break down why.
Mainly because you look at what happened to Joe Burrow. and you use that as fuel. Like, you sit them down and say, listen, like, we can't have this happen again because you're our franchise quarterback, and you can't be our franchise quarterback if you're on the ground all the time. I think we've seen it with Andrew Luck, and I think that Andrew Luck needs to be a shining example of why you don't do what they could potentially do. You have to protect your quarterback.
And the pick is in here as well now for Cincinnati. They have made their decision. We will see. Do they follow the charged up sports route, go and protect their franchise quarterback, or do they take the utility sports route and go ahead and find the franchise wide receiver, the number one guy at that position in this class, Jamar Chase? We'll see who they go. Do they pair the LSU products together, or do they go take the Oregon tackle, put him at left tackle as the franchise protector for their quarterback, Joe Burrow? We'll see exactly who they target here. Trey or Austin, if you were to give them a grade, if it is Penei Sewell, would you hate the pick?
No, I wouldn't. I really wouldn't. I would give them probably an A-. I still think that's the next best thing. I mean, if you don't take Chase, you need to take Sewell. It's one or the other. Right. I don't honestly think they can go wrong with either pick. However, I have a slight preference towards Jamar Chase. There's Adam Thielen now. Really, really awesome to see him. Obviously, did not get to participate in the NFL draft out of Minnesota State. So just something to add in there. But anyway, going back to the Cincinnati Bengals, really fun here. I think that Jamar Chase could be a superstar at the next level. I think some people would agree, some wouldn't. There's some people that believe he's not even the number one wideout in the entire class. So, differing opinions, but that's why we love sports. We can have those opinions.
Yes, there is always going to be a little bit of a divide there. That's kind of how I felt as well, Austin. If they don't take Jamar Chase and they do offer Penei Sewell, I don't think it is a bad direction. You can't really mess up when you're picking between those two guys. Trayvon, I know you're higher on Penei Sewell. If they did select Jamar Chase, would you hate the pick, or are you still good with that too?
I understand it, but then again, I don't, because they just got a wide receiver in T. Higgins. I understand that the chemistry between them might be hard to pass up, but I don't know. It's the same reason I want the Chargers to get a tackle. You know what I mean? For them, I wouldn't be. I would be happy because the pick is exciting and it's flashy and stuff like that. But I would just think about, now what do we do? And they're in a much better position than us because they pick earlier in the second round than us. Like, the tackles that can land to them are really good, and the tackles that can fall to us and our second pick could be pretty bad. Well, not bad, but just as worse off as the talent that they have up there.
Right. That's a big reason on why I think they should offer Jamar Chase. I think there's going to be one or two tackles that fall to them at pick 37 tomorrow that they're going to be able to find someone who's maybe not a franchise tackle, but going to be a starting level tackle, going to help keep Joe Burrow upright while also giving him his elite wide receiver target of the future. I like T. Higgins, but he's no Jamar Chase. There's no arguing that. Funny enough here, Jared says at this pace, the draft will end tomorrow morning. Yes, I know they go very slow through the first few picks. They want to get all the media coverage they can for their NFL draft. This is a big money maker for them. But we're here for it. It's the best draft night of the year, and Roger Goodell is walking up to the podium now.
Yo, please draft Jamar. Please draft Jamar. I'm going to switch tabs so I can't see you.
The Cincinnati Bengals select Jamar Chase, wide receiver.
Wide receiver Jamar Chase is the selection for the Cincinnati Bengals. A big move. They get their star wide receiver to pair with their star quarterback. This is exactly what we needed, and Austin stays winning as the mock draft wizard. He's a perfect
Yes!
his first one pick. Trayvon is very excited. And interestingly enough, if he was wearing a Bengals uniform, they might be using this for Jamar Chase's Hall of Fame highlight reel 15 years down the road, because he's going to be that type of wide receiver, in my opinion. He's great off the line of scrimmage, has phenomenal footwork, very good hands. He's great after the catch. there is real no weakness in his game, in my opinion. I think he's going to be a beast. The last season we saw him play college football. He broke the college receiving record for touchdowns in a single year. He was a big part of what LSU did. Austin, why is Ja'Marr Chase such a great wide receiver? What do you love about him? And is he a great fit in Cincinnati?
Like, number one thing to me, he's one of the best route runners in the entire class. Obviously, I think he's an all-world talent. Like they had said, contested catches is another one of his strengths. I mean, he just does a really nice job shielding out defenders with his body. I think the Bengals, phenomenal move here. This is an A-worthy grade for sure. I love what I've seen from the Cincinnati Bengal team. They are trying to do the best that they can to, really surround Joe Burrow with some awesome talent. Now he's pairing up with his former college wide receiver, Ja'Marr Chase. They also have Thaddeus Moss from that team. They did sign him after he was waived. So really, really cool stuff here from Cincinnati. A bright future there. I'm really excited to see those new jerseys. Oh, okay. It looks really clean in person. I think that's oh my God, very beautiful jerseys.
Yeah, Austin, a little bit higher on the Cincinnati Bengals jersey than I am, but that is going to be the obvious truth. He's a big fan of Joe Burrow. He's a big fan of Ja'Marr Chase, and he's going to be a big fan of the Cincinnati Bengals team moving forward. This is a great pick, though. Luke the Duke, welcome to the stream. Glad to have you in here. This was a very, very big-time pick. Make sure you guys are subscribed to Utility Sports if you are new. And Chris Tolbert says, looks like a better version of Amari Cooper to me. I mean, that's probably going to be the low end of his career, in my opinion. He ran really well. He's great off the line of scrimmage, like I said earlier. Got phenomenal route running ability. I think he's going to be a beast. I liken him to some of the best in the NFL. Julio Jones is a guy that jumps out to me in a lot of ways. I think people are sleeping on Ja'Marr Chase. Here, the NFL comparison for him is A.J. Brown. I think that's a real disservice as well. I think he's just a much, much better player than that, and I think he's going to be a very, very good player in the NFL. Remember what we just saw Justin Jefferson do as a rookie for the Minnesota Vikings, and there was no comparison between Jefferson and Chase 2 years ago for LSU. Chase was clearly the better wide receiver. I want everyone to keep that same energy about this when Ja'Marr Chase goes on to be the best rookie wide receiver, probably a 1,000-yard receiver in year one of his career is my guess. And he's going to be an absolutely dominant player at that position. It's hard to find players like him.
We need one more thing to happen. We need Miami to take a wide receiver for this to be so nice of a draft.
Trayvon, I know you're going to say that, but Penei Sewell is probably going to go off the board here at pick 6. Sorry to ruin your day for you, but I think Penei Sewell would be the pick here at 6. Austin, is that what you mocked in for your Dolphins?
That's what I did. I did have the Dolphins go with Penei Sewell at 6. This does increase the likelihood, though. Rashawn Slater could be a Charger at the end of the day. Maybe the Vikings ahead of the Chargers. I think
I need them to take Jalen Waddle right now. Go get Tua his weapon that he needs, and let me just be happy.
Get to work with Joe back at the Bengals.
The pick is already in. They did that really fast.
Yes, the pick is in for Miami.
Let's see what you need to do to be able to reach that type of production at the next level.
Yeah, I need to keep the same mindset that I always have. Keep working, keep being competitive, and I think that'll take me a long way. Stay on the right road.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Well, you mentioned the partnership with Joe Burrow. They become the first teammates in the college draft era that were quarterback one.
Oh my gosh, his numbers are insane.
26 games. Ja'Marr Chase had 162 targets, 107 catches, 2,093 yards, and 23 touchdowns between Burrow and Chase.
And interestingly enough, Ja'Marr Chase did not catch a single college pass from any other QB. Obviously, an opt-out this past year is the first opt-out to go off the board here, 5th overall to the Cincinnati Bengals. And it's not going to change here in the NFL. He's going to continue catching passes from Joe Burrow, his former college teammate down in Baton Rouge, and now up north in Cincinnati. I think the AFC North has to be a little scared of this. I know they've got some really good cornerback play there in Baltimore. The Browns feel pretty good about what they have, and so do the Steelers. But Ja'Marr Chase is going to be a problem even in that division yet. Now shifting to the Miami Dolphins, some of our team needs for them. Tackle, wide receiver, running back, and edge. I think tackle's the pick here, Austin. What do you think?
I think that they are going to opt with Penei Sewell. Penei Sewell, phenomenal upside as a tackle prospect. That is who I mocked. I know Trayvon does not want him to go here, but I think that's going to be the pick. But it's very possible that a guy like Jalen Waddle could go as well. Like he had mentioned, Trayvon did mention Jalen Waddle as a possibility.
Yes, he did. It is a real possibility yet at this point. We will see exactly who they opt to go with at this point.
Here we go. We have the pick.
With the sixth pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, the Miami Dolphins select Jalen Waddle, wide receiver, Alabama.
Okay. Well, the pick is in and it is made here. As you guys heard, the pick was wide receiver Jalen Waddle out of the University of Alabama. And I am surprised by that, to be honest with you. Penei Sewell, I thought, should have been the pick.
I am very shocked by that. I thought Penei Sewell was going to be the pick.
Yes!
Now the Lions do have a definite tackle need. The Lions have a definite tackle need for sure. They might not pass on him. Maybe they do. But they also have a humongous need at wide receiver. They have the worst wide receiver room in the entire league. So does Devontae Smith go here potentially at number 7?
This is a big...
Or Justin Fields. We do have to remember that.
Trade up right now. Do not waste time. Go get Penei, please.
Very, very, very surprising here to me that Jalen Waddle was the pick over Penei Sewell. I thought they needed to find a right tackle to protect Tua Tagovailoa's blind side. I thought they needed to find the best run blocker in this class in Penei Sewell. They opted to pass on both of those situations. They got Jalen Waddle. He's really, really good. Austin, what's your grade for the Miami Dolphins who are grabbing Waddle at 6?
I'm not like I love Waddle the prospect. I thought they probably should have went tackle. I still give this a B+. I do really like Jalen Waddle the prospect. That's what keeps them from having this grade. I thought Sewell should have been the pick.
The pick is in, as Jerger X pointed out here. Let's talk about the Lions.
They didn't trade.
They're not trading down, which is a very, very surprising thing. And they didn't even utilize much of their clock. Looks like Dan Campbell and this new regime are acting really quickly in this slow rebuild. We'll see who they take. Maybe they're very excited that Penei Sewell was still there for them. Trayvon's starting to sweat a little bit on the other end. Charged up sports. He's going to be a little charged up and not in a good way if Penei Sewell goes off the board here at 7. The big needs for the Lions, quarterback an obvious one, linebacker, tackle. Also big-time needs. Those are probably the ones they're between. Maybe it's Micah Parsons. Wide receiver also a massive need. Justin Fields is a possibility. Like we said, the QB position could fall out. We've only seen 3 now go in the top 6 picks. We'll see exactly who it is coming up. Austin, if you had to bet, who do the Lions take here at 7?
It's hard because I think it's very possible that they definitely – I think Sewell should be the pick once again, but maybe he slides. Maybe there's something wrong with him. I mean, 2 tackle-needy teams pass on him. So very crazy how that's going.
It will be interesting to monitor for sure. Obviously, every time that we say Penei Sewell's name, Trayvon's going to have a near cardiac arrest moment on his side of the stream here. We'll see. Is Penei Sewell the pick? If we're jumping up and down, it'll be because we're happy that Trayvon's Chargers did not land Penei Sewell. We will see. Maybe it's Justin Fields. Possibly another team to watch here as we get closer to pick 14 is the Minnesota Vikings. They were a team they called the Atlanta Falcons earlier today. They could badly need a tackle. Penei Sewell or Rashawn Slater would be great answers for them. But also, they could have some interest at the quarterback position. Someone possibly like Justin Fields or maybe Mac Jones, honestly. Wouldn't be the most surprising thing for Rick Spielman and Mike Zimmer to pull the trigger on something like that. But Jalen Waddle, a dynamic playmaker, goes to Miami. Now the focus shifts to the Detroit Lions. Like you said, Austin, I'm with you. I think it should be Penei Sewell. I had originally mocked a trade here of the New England Patriots moving up to get Justin Fields. Does not look like we have that. Maybe Carolina is the team in question moving down with New England. That is what we need to monitor.
My question is, if Fields doesn't go here, how far could he fall? Or could Carolina be that next team? Could it be Denver? We have no idea.
Drippy Denver Fields. That could be something we see. Austin, a big fan of how Fields looks. He likes his drip. Jalen Waddle. He'll look good in Miami for sure. Miami's got some nice looking colors, nice looking uniforms. They've got a formidable trio now at wide receiver with Jalen Waddle, Will Fuller, who they brought in free agency, and also Devontae Parker. I think Waddle suits in there perfectly at that slot position probably early on. And once Will Fuller's gone, maybe move him outside a little bit, let him do a little bit more of what he's able to do. But at this point, they've got a big three, and we'll see exactly who they're able to grab at this point. The pick is still in for Detroit. We do not have Goodell up on the podium yet. We will see who the Detroit Lions pick. This has been the pick people have been waiting for. We will see exactly who it ends up being. My gut tells me it's Penei Sewell, but we will see.
Dan Campbell looks happy. Maybe a guy was there that he wasn't expecting. He's kind of shaking his head like, how did this happen?
Is Goodell coming up for you guys?
It's Justin Fields.
Jared X, you and me both feel that way. Obviously, my Jets fan self does not want the Patriots to be doing well, and you as a Bills fan don't want that either. M. Steph says, can't wait to see the Packers draft tonight. Yeah, they're a team in the spotlight right now. Make sure you stay tuned on our stream. Also, welcome, M. Steps. I don't recognize your name, so if you are new, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Also, turn on the notification bell so you don't miss out on anything Utility Sports. Also, guys, check out the link in our description. Go subscribe to Charged Up Sports if you haven't already. Love working with Trayvon. He brings some really great content. He's going to continue pushing out videos for you guys. Make sure you're subscribed there as well as here at Utility Sports. And it's just awesome being able to work on it. We will see who the Detroit Lions select. At this point, we don't know who it will be. Put your guesses in the chat right now. Who will be the selection here at pick 7 for Detroit?
Trayvon, what are you feeling right now? Where do you think this is going to go? Do you think it's realistic that the Chargers move up for Penei Sewell?
I think that if they were going to move up, this was the spot to move up, because you look at Carolina. Carolina needs a tackle. Unless Justin Fields is there, they'll probably opt to go there. Denver's not going to trade within the division.
Oh, we got Goodell coming up.
I'm gonna cry if they take this man, bro. Like, legitimately.
The Detroit Lions select Penei Sewell, tackle, Oregon.
There it is. Penei Sewell goes off the board. We had to have known Detroit needed a tackle bad. They went ahead and got him. Really good pick by the Detroit Lions. They needed tackle desperately. They also need wideout. I think they're going to hit that second round.
Yes, they're going to come back round 2, try and find some options for Jared Goff. But Penei Sewell, the best offensive lineman in this class, is going to be a great run blocking option for DeAndre Swift. We obviously see Trayvon there hit that cardiac arrest moment like I was talking about earlier. Not happy to see Penei Sewell go off the board. Trayvon, that'll be all right. There's some other solid tackles still. And who knows, maybe you guys got J.C. Horn written on your card. We'll see exactly who the Chargers grab at pick 13. But in the meantime, the Detroit Lions land Penei Sewell. Austin, grade this pick.
I give this an A grade. They definitely needed a tackle. He's one of the better players in the draft. Obviously, he slid past a couple of tackle-needy teams. I really like this for them. Obviously, they need wideout. I think they're going to be ready to address that moving forward. Wow. Just crazy stuff that Penei Sewell was here at 7 and Detroit stuck here. I thought they were a definite candidate to trade back.
Yeah, I thought so too. They opted to not, however, at this point. But sure enough, they go ahead, take Penei Sewell. I'm sure they were happy when they saw him here. He's going to be a stellar offensive tackle for them. He fell to 7. He's a great player. He's going to help DeAndre Swift a lot. He's also going to help protect Jared Goff. Maybe they'll see if Goff can be the guy of the future. Remember, they've got multiple years of first-round picks coming up, multiple picks in the first round for years coming from that trade with Matthew Stafford and the Los Angeles Rams. So they're going to have a very, very good approach to the Detroit Lions War Room. Very, very ecstatic about that. We'll see if they're active later on tonight or if they're going to call it a good night, grabbing Penei Sewell. Very, very, very good grab for the Detroit Lions for sure. Jared X wanted them to grab Justin Fields. They do not. Part of that is probably why he didn't want to see the Patriots grab Penei Sewell or grab Justin Fields, that is. And now at this point, we have the Carolina Panthers on the clock. 2 minutes left, and Justin Fields is still out here. Panthers, I know they made a move for Sam Darnold. They haven't picked up his 5th-year option yet. Is that a possibility? I think it is. Austin, who do you think Carolina's going to take here?
I think Justin Fields is going to be the pick. I'm kind of surprised that he is here at 8. It's just crazy. I think Carolina, obviously they traded for Sam Darnold, but now you have to wonder, I mean, do they feel that was the right move now with Fields sitting here? It would be a weird situation if they took him after just trading for Sam Darnold. I'm talking myself out of that pick now. Maybe they believe Sam Darnold is the quarterback. So what's available on the board? Obviously, they could look defense. They could look at a guy like Micah Parsons potentially. They could look at Patrick Surtain. They could look at Rashawn Slater. So I think we also have a comment here saying Slater as well. I have a hard time believing they're going to take Fields because they do have Sam Darnold now.
One thing, too, is they could be working the phone. At this point, there's only 50 seconds left on the clock for them. They could be on the phone with a team like New England, maybe Chicago, maybe Minnesota, teams looking to possibly move up. I can read it. So
Micah Parsons.
Okay, yep. There's a lot of different teams at this point. And the pick is in. The pick is in. I thought there was a reset. I thought the pick got traded. Carolina does, in fact, have their pick in now. So never mind what I was just saying about a possible trade with them running it down. I do think they were probably listening to offers, decided to take their guy. My guess is it's going to be Rashawn Slater here at 8, Austin. What say you?
Rashawn Slater is going to likely be the pick. Yeah, I have a hard time believing they're going to take a quarterback after just trading for Darnold.
Yeah. The focus here on Carolina, last year during the draft, it was defense. This year in the offseason, it's been offensive line. They franchise tagged Taylor Moton. They brought in Pat Elflein in free agency, someone who's going to be a versatile player along that offensive line, can pull, get out in front. I think he's a good fit into that system. And then also looking here at 8, if they brought in Rashawn Slater, it's a much improved offensive line. I think it would be very, very good situation all in all. That is my thoughts at this point on the Carolina Panthers. What say you guys? Let me know in the comments who you think the Panthers are drafting here at this point. And Trayvon, if you're Carolina, who are you taking?
I don't think you take Fields. I think you're gonna take Slater. Just because you have Sam Darnold, I understand that maybe you want to have competition, but if you really wanted competition, you would have just kept Teddy Bridgewater there, and they dealed him to Denver. So I'm gonna say Rashawn Slater. That's my final pick.
So we are consensus here. We all think Rashawn Slater is the selection. We will see if Carolina pulls the trigger here. GRGX says he thinks Slater, but wants to see Fields go off the board so New England can't get him. Looks like everything is playing right for New England. And right now, the interesting thing, too, is if Carolina passes on a QB, Denver does have their choice between Fields and Mac Jones. If they want to pull the trigger there, maybe we could see a little bit of a fall at quarterback. That's yet to be seen. Carolina's pick is in. It looks like the commissioner will be coming out here very soon.
He's coming out right now?
Not quite yet. Not quite yet.
Just let me know.
Yeah, will do.
I'm going to cry.
We will see exactly who the selection is for the Carolina Panthers. Okay. At this point, they're just doing some more of their branding. And also then Denver is on the clock already at this point, too, with the pick being in. And here is the commissioner. Here's the commissioner, Trey.
To announce it right now. With the 8th pick of the 2021 NFL Draft, the Carolina Panthers select J.C. Horn, defensive back.
Oh, my gosh.
No, what?
Whoa.
Whoa. J.C. Horn. I cannot believe they selected him.
J.C. Horn not only goes off the board
Surtain.
here, he is the first cornerback off the board, and he is the first defensive player off the board. No one would have thought that. No one would have thought that even a month ago, even a week or two ago. J.C. Horn, not only the first cornerback off the board, but is the first defensive player off the board in the 2021 NFL Draft. Crazy what we see here from J.C. Horn going now at this point. Austin, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, wow. I think they could have traded down. And oh my, I'm sure New England would have been, calling for that selection, but they opt to go with J.C. Horn. Really good physicals, but on tape, I didn't believe him to be a top 20 player even. Pretty crazy stuff here. I think J.C. Horn has some upside. I didn't love him at 8. This is a B- pick to me, maybe even C+ with how high they took him. Decent prospect, but I'm not entirely sure on him going at 8.
Yeah, J.C. Horn is a good player. I firmly believe that. But at the end of the day, I did not have him in my top 20 players in this year's class. I think he's a cornerback who's best suited to work on the outside. He's going to work well on outside the numbers, but I have some question marks about him being able to work inside against in-breaking routes. We'll see here. Carolina lands J.C. Horn. That is a surprising move for me. I did not expect that here in this year's draft for J.C. Horn to not only be the first cornerback off the board, but the first defensive player off the board. That is quite surprising. Austin, talk about the strengths of Patrick Surtain as the number 1 cornerback on the board yet at this point.
Yeah, Patrick Surtain, really good press guy. A good majority of his snaps were in press coverage. Good man-to-man. I think he is a very, very solid tackler as well. One of the better guys in the class at tackling. He has pretty good ball skills, but not elite level ball skills. I think Patrick Surtain is bound to go within the next 2 picks here.
Yeah, I think so as well. I think Surtain is probably not going to make it past Dallas. Trayvon, J.C. Horn is a Carolina Panther. What's your thoughts?
I'm pretty happy. I'm pretty happy right now because that means that Slater can fall to us. I think that I don't know. I think that this is weird. Like this is I don't know. I remember somebody mocked this exactly happened. J.C. Horn going to the Panthers, but this kind of shakes up the board a lot. Denver's here. I really hope they don't get Justin Fields. I just would hate to have to deal with another quarterback in the division. I'm liking Teddy B. I hope they stay with him. But yeah, I mean, Patrick I think that there were 3 locks in this draft, and that was Trevor Lawrence to Jacksonville, Zach Wilson to the Jets, and Patrick Surtain to the Cowboys. So I mean, if they want to shock, and don't take him, and Patrick Surtain's there at 13, I'm smiling. I'm smiling.
Yeah, I would be surprised if Surtain falls all the way down to 13. My guess is he sticks at Dallas. Denver here is on the clock now at 9, obviously. And I think that looking at them, they have a need still at cornerback. I know they brought in some guys this year in free agency, but I still do think that is a need. Also, you have to look at quarterback, linebacker as well. Micah Parsons, this would be a logical landing spot at this point. Vic Fangio, will he go defense or will he find his quarterback? Yes, Trayvon.
The guy that covers the Broncos, Benjamin Albright, mentioned that they are looking to trade down. So this could be a spot for somebody like New England to come up and get Justin Fields right now.
That would make a lot of sense, too, when you're looking at this from Denver's standpoint. One player is probably not going to fix all their issues at this spot. Adding some more talent after trading down would be a good move as well. I think that is going to be something worth monitoring for sure at this point. We'll see if the Denver Broncos end up going quarterback. Justin Fields could be the guy. I think that would make a lot of sense for sure there.
Yep. So far, we have 2 minutes 20 seconds left in the Denver pick. We think that they will be possibly moving down. Otherwise, they might just stick and go with Justin Fields. Maybe they look at Patrick Surtain as a potential option. I'm kind of curious to see where Devontae Smith goes. That could be soon to the New York Giants. Best available players: Devontae Smith, Rashawn Slater, Justin Fields, Elijah Vera-Tucker, and rounding out the top 5 by Mel Kiper is Micah Parsons, a very talented linebacker with a lot of character issues. So, with that being said, number 9, Denver. They are still on the clock. The time is ticking. Under 2 minutes now for Denver to make their selection or trade out. Who do you think the pick is going to be? I kind of looking at the draft so far through the 8 picks, we've had some major surprises. Right at the start, it was pretty conventional, and then now it is wide open heading on in 9.
Yes, I think so as well. I think that 9 is pretty wide open. Rashawn Slater would make some sense as well. There's a lot of different ways that they could go. Remember, these teams here at these points have to kind of do some nitpicking on who they would prefer and who's going to be their quarterback of the future. Denver Broncos, they definitely could use someone. I talked earlier about how I thought they wouldn't be in the market to move up anymore at this point after securing the trade for someone like Teddy Bridgewater to fill in their quarterback spot. We'll see here at 9 after not moving up if they still will look at the quarterback position or if that is just dead in the water for them. Austin, what's your thoughts? What would you do if you were Denver?
I would trade back personally if I were Denver. Do the pick in. Denver opted to stay. Kind of surprising there. I thought they would move back. I think they're going to take Justin Fields. I think that's where they're going to go. That is my prediction now. That it's so tough with him on the board because I thought New England would have possibly moved up, but I mean I think Denver might just stay and go ahead and take Justin Fields and just say, hey, we only paid a 6th-round pick for Teddy Bridgewater, can be competitive in camp, and then maybe Drew Lock gets moved, maybe during the draft even. I think that's a possibility.
Yeah, we will see here now at this point. Pick is in, like you said, Austin, for the Denver Broncos. Trayvon, if you were running Denver, who is your pick?
Justin Fields. Justin Fields for sure. I don't want that to happen, but if I was Denver and I was running an organization, I would take Justin Fields here. I think that last year was really the year to have Drew Lock prove himself, and he didn't really do that. So I say that you bring in somebody to light under his behind. Excuse me.
Yeah, definitely. You got to look for some competition there at the quarterback spot. I know they like what they have. The pick is in, like we said. And here comes the commissioner. Trayvon, the commissioner, is coming out at this point.
Dedicated and passionate fan bases in the NFL have made their selection, and here comes the connection that will be announced.
With the 9th pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, the Denver Broncos select Pat Surtain, Jr., defensive back, Alabama.
Okay. So the pick is in.
They did go corner.
They did go corner.
I did mock that.
Yep.
I did mock Surtain. Crazy stuff. This is going to be the most I've ever had right in a year. I got a feeling about that.
Crazy year at this point. Patrick Surtain goes off the board. We have
right in front of Dallas. Right. What is Dallas going to do now?
It's going to be Rashawn Slater, right? It's got to be.
It might be. I don't know for sure though. Maybe they draft. That would be crazy if they drafted a wide receiver. I don't think that's possible. I don't think that's likely, but anything's possible at this point. It's the NFL draft. They stuck to their board. They didn't get excited because they saw Justin Fields. Does Philly take Justin Fields?
Justin Fields and Philly.
Does Minnesota trade up with Dallas to draft Justin Fields?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I think Minnesota wanted Trey Lance.
Probably.
Because he's from here. He's from the state.
Wow.
Oh, gosh. I don't know. Patrick Surtain to Denver. I like this pick a lot.
I like it.
All that pick just to get killed by Keenan Allen don't matter.
Trayvon, a salty Chargers fan. It's okay. We understand. Patrick Surtain is going to be very, very good. I don't know how you're going to do this now. One of your Alabama Crimson Tide players playing for an AFC West rival, Trayvon. You're probably going to go to bed crying tonight, especially with not getting Penei Sewell as well. It's a tough day for you as a Chargers fan.
Yeah, I hear you.
Maybe you guys shouldn't have won 4 straight games to end the year.
Yeah, and trust me, I did not want that. You're barking up the wrong tree.
Hey, don't worry. We decided to win 2 of our last 3, so we didn't get Lawrence. Don't worry about it. Jared X says Jerry Jones is screaming right now. Yes, that is exactly the case. I think that he would.
And that's tough because Horn is off the board. That's really tough. I don't know where to go.
Maybe they didn't take Farley off their board.
Yeah, maybe they didn't take Farley off their board. They could look at Farley. We could see 3 go in the top 10. That would be pretty nuts.
I'm gonna say it's Rashawn Slater. I'm gonna say that just because he's versatile.
I think it's Rashawn Slater as well. I think he is the pick. He can play that left tackle spot for them. He's going to be an excellent pass blocker. You got to keep Dak Prescott healthy, especially with that new contract. I don't even think that's a bad pick. Austin, what was your grade again for Surtain here to Denver? Surtain to Denver, I give that an A-. I do like that pick. I think he's going to be a really good fit in Denver. Obviously, they get arguably the best corner off the board right here at number 9. We had been mocking that all year long, actually. Surtain to number 9 Denver, or Farley to Surtain to 9, and then Farley to 10, vice versa, all year long. And maybe that's true. Maybe they go ahead and take Farley with that next pick. So
Yes.
number 10, we have the Dallas Cowboys still here. 5 minutes to go left on the board. Mac Jones is quietly sitting there. I'm very happy to see this. I'm not a Mac Jones guy. I'm glad teams aren't trying to overdraft him because of what he did last year. Now we're starting to get into some more Mac Jones territory. Justin Fields. It could be possible Philly takes Justin Fields at 12. That is a real possibility indeed. I do think that is something we shouldn't be ruling out here at this point, just with the whole situation there. There's a lot of different places these quarterbacks could land. We'll see exactly which one ends up landing where. I think New England should be pretty happy with how this board is falling. They might not even have to move up to get their quarterback of the future. As a Jets fan myself, I'm not ecstatic about that, but it is how it is. We'll see. Not every pick in the first round is going to work out either. There's a chance that some of these guys are bust. Possibly, New England could go with Justin Fields. Maybe it doesn't work. And there's a trade. There is a trade to announce. The Dallas Cowboys have traded the 10th pick to the Eagles. An in-division trade. It is going to be Justin Fields more than likely. An in-division trade. Very surprising. The Cowboys have swapped. Cowboys trade pick 10 to the Philadelphia Eagles. That is a very surprising trade. NFC East trade here. That is breaking news. Oh my goodness. I can't believe that. We'll see. We'll see what Dallas got. Philadelphia, you had mentioned them at the top of the show, Austin, being a team to watch to move up.
And I was right.
I was critical of that. I thought you were silly, to be honest with you. And this is why you are the mock draft wizard. Start spamming in the chat. Mock draft wizard right now. Mock draft wizard. He is the mock draft wizard himself. Everyone, spam that in the chat right now for Austin. He's been killing it all year long with the draft coverage. This guy knows his college football, knows his NFL football, knows his XFL and AFL football, or AAF football, sorry. We're not 1980.
It's so funny that they trade. They must really not be afraid of Fields. Like, they must really not fear him at all.
Well, I'm wondering what Philadelphia paid to move up 2 spots here with the quarterback.
They could have gone up and gotten a wide receiver because they want to jump the Giants.
Possibly here. Devontae Smith as well could be here. That is a great point. Devontae Smith would make a lot of sense. Do you think it's Devontae Smith or do you think it's Justin Fields, Austin?
I'm going to go Justin Fields. But I do think, Trayvon, I do think that's a very interesting point. I mean, I very well could be wrong. They probably – it's tough because are they fully committed to Jalen Hurts?
It just makes it makes sense that they would jump the Giants in this situation.
Unless they were just, trying not to get hot by New England. That's another thing that could be.
That's true.
I see what you're saying, though.
And the other thing is, are the Giants out of the quarterback realm either fully? Has Daniel Jones done enough to make Daniel Jones think I'm not taking a quarterback of Justin Fields instead of 11?
Mac Jones?
Jared, I swear to God, if Mac Jones is the pick for the Eagles, I hope so. Please, can we get Mac Jones to the Eagles in the chat? Oh, bro, this is why I love the draft. This is a crazy, crazy time. Make sure you guys are subscribed.
I hope they just haven't changed it, but it says Philly at 12 still. I'm assuming that they.
My guess is that they just haven't changed it. I'm sure that pick will be Dallas's. I swear, if Dallas traded out and didn't get 12, that would be bad. Jerry Jones. All the things people say about him will all of a sudden be true.
What if? Okay, this is crazy. I don't think this is the case, but think about this. What if they didn't do that pick 12? What if they traded for next year's pick and Philly tanked this year? And then all of a sudden they could end up with, a top 4 pick.
That could be pretty crazy.
I don't think that's likely, but that's just food for thought.
My guess is Philadelphia would be scared to do that to themselves.
Yeah.
And that fan base. I feel like they would be coming to bird that.
Okay, Dallas is at 12 now. Philly has 20 seconds here on the clock. Who will the Philadelphia Eagles select here?
It took a third to move up to 2 spots here. So pretty interesting.
I feel like that's a pretty good trade.
Pick is in for Philly.
What did they give up?
They give up a third in addition.
Okay, I feel like that's a good trade for Dallas because they're going to get their guy back at 12 anyway, probably.
They were going to get whoever they wanted back there.
Yeah, they could want Farley.
They could want Farley.
Maybe they trade down again yet. Even.
Yeah, I mean they know teams are scared of them, so I mean why not maximize value? I mean, wow, Philly jumps back up to 10. Holy moly,
this is a crazy.
I'm gonna say it's Devonta Smith. I'm gonna say it's Devonta Smith.
Okay, I like that though. I think it's 50-50 right now. Actually, 51-49. I have the slight preference towards Fields, but
I think it's more likely to be Fields just because he's a quarterback, and that's the case. That I feel like that would just piss everybody off in Philly though, because I feel like it's just like you're just doing it all over again. Like now we just have the same issue.
They're like, oh, you guys didn't like the quarterback drama between Carson Wentz and
bet.
Jalen Hurts. How about between Jalen Hurts and Justin Fields?
Hold my beer. I'll be right back.
That's funny. Austin, your thoughts on Philadelphia at the end of the day? Is this Fields? Is it Devontae Smith?
We have the commissioner going.
Commissioner.
The Eagle fan is getting out of the honorary chair.
All right, here it is.
The Dallas Cowboys have traded the 10th pick to the Philadelphia Eagles. With the 10th pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, the Philadelphia Eagles select Devontae Smith.
It is.
Wow.
Devontae Smith.
Trayvon, props to you. You had it right, but man, they jumped the Giants. They did jump the Giants.
We need to start making other teams. You got to keep that.
Okay, yep. So New York Giants are going to be sitting on 11. Rashad Bateman could be a potential target right here at 11. Otherwise, Micah Parsons could be another option as well. Keep that in mind. Micah Parsons definitely could be the pick, just considering that they do need some defense.
Called it.
Yep, great job, Trayvon. Really good stuff there. Number 11, New York is sitting here. All of a sudden, the top wideouts are off the board. Could we see Rashad Bateman? Could we see Micah Parsons?
I'm going to say Micah. I'm going to say Micah here.
I think Micah's probably the pick. I would agree with you. Micah Parsons is the selection here at 11. So, Trayvon, what do you give this for a grade? Devontae Smith having to jump New York at 10 then.
I say it's a B- just because they had the trade up. But I mean, like I definitely think they had the trade up. I think that if they would have waited, Devonta would have been gone, and I think they really would have started to panic. So they go up. Yeah, see, Devonta Smith, Calvin Ridley, that's the perfect comparison, like in my opinion. But yeah, I give it an A-. You know, they had the trade up to get him. You understand that, and they go get a wide receiver that can very well be the best in the class for sure, and finally give them a real number one threat for sure.
Interesting you guys were talking about Micah Parsons here, because I wouldn't rule out Rashawn Slater either yet at this point.
No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't either.
Because I know last year they took Andrew Thomas, and surprisingly here too, I know Dave Gettleman, there's rumors he's going to trade down. I don't buy into that. He's never traded down. I don't think he's going to now. I think the pick is going to be between Micah Parsons and Rashawn Slater. I'd be surprised if it's someone else. Wide receiver, I mean, if they did really have their eyes set on grabbing another wideout and saying, hey, Daniel Jones, you got to prove us you're the guy. We're going to give you as much as possible. Someone like Kadarius Toney, someone like Rashad Bateman, they'd be surprises this high, but it would really be Dave Gettleman calling his shot with Daniel Jones, making it work. And remember, last year, people didn't think Andrew Thomas was going to go 4th overall. Dave Gettleman doesn't necessarily care about the spot where he's drafting. He's going to get his guy. And there's a trade alert.
Oh, boy, we do have a trade. Does Chicago move up? Who moves up? It is Chicago.
It is the Chicago Bears. It is the Chicago Bears. Will it be for Justin Fields now at this point? My guess is yes, but also Mac Jones is still on the board. Ryan Pace, he said Andy Dalton was his guy. Let's see, is he telling the truth or not? My guess is it would have to be. It would have to be for Justin Fields is my thought. Absolutely crazy.
What do you think they gave up?
Trade here. My guess is they probably gave up a second-round pick this year as well. Austin's mock here, he did have the Bears moving up to pick 13. Oh, you had to move. Oh, okay, very close.
I wish.
Very, very interesting, to say the least. My guess is it will be for Justin Fields.
Yep. So Justin Fields is going to be the pick at 11. Absolute insanity. Chicago goes ahead and gets their quarterback. Right now, hold on. Adam Schefter's on the phone.
Next year, so you see the picks that they get back in addition to the one this year. Next year's one, 5 this year, 4 next year. The Bears are coming up. It looks like quarterback time again in Chicago, baby.
Wow.
What did he say?
My gosh, I don't know if you heard what the Giants are getting not only this year's one, which is 20, but they're also getting, in addition to that, they're getting next year's one, a 4 this year, and a 5. That is insane.
Good value.
Yeah, Dave Gettleman held on to the pick until he got the value he felt he deserved. Edgar V. real quick, who do you think the Raiders could pick at 17? Someone like Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, possibly Micah Parsons if he falls. I think that is a real possibility.
That's Justin Fields' house. There's nobody sitting on the couch. They must be out celebrating right now. That's going to be the pick.
Yeah, it seems like Justin Fields is the guy here. Fell all the way down to 11. Drippy Fields in Chicago. He is high.
Why they got my guy Mac Jones looking so sad, bro? It's all right, bro. Keep your head up, bro.
Justin Fields is definitely going to be here at 11. I think that is the clear and obvious at this point. We will see exactly if that is what happens. But at this point, my guess is the Chicago Bears will select Justin Fields, the next star quarterback there in Chicago, possibly. We will see if that is the case. But wow, crazy turn of events. Chicago moved up. Austin, you've been killing the game with your predictions. You thought Philadelphia would move up. You thought Chicago would move up. Guys, one more time. Can we spam Mock Draft Wizard in the chat for Austin here? He is the Mock Draft Wizard himself. Jared X says, Devontae Smith is said to be hated and called undersized. Also, Devontae Smith, the Slim Reaper. That is pretty funny. And by slim, yes, he is very slim. I do have some concerns about him getting off the press in the NFL. But all in all, when he is off the press, he's a very, very good receiver. Great hands, good footwork when down the field. Jared X, once again, putting in their Wizard. Austin, how does that make you feel?
Hell, it feels like just like the other 7 times that it's happened.
Yeah, well, I mean, when you're this consistently, it's got to happen. Austin's been consistently right. Mock Draft Wizard. Maybe that'll be a new thing on the channel here. You guys can spam that every mock draft Austin does on the channel. Chris,
I'm hoping that the Chargers trade back with Mac Jones on the board. I hope Washington's like, hey, can we come up and get this guy? Because I think that I think that Dallas is definitely going to go Slater.
Yes, I think that Dallas here at 12 is probably going to look at Rashawn Slater following a Justin Fields selection here.
We have the commissioner. Here we go.
Through this year's draft-a-thon, the NFL is supporting our nation's path to recovering from COVID-19 by focusing on the critical issues of mental health, food insecurity, health disparities, and the digital divide. Throughout the pandemic, Help the spirit is divided between color, indigenous communities.
We will see who the pick is here for Chicago.
We're joining forces with the CDC Foundation.
We're talking about the draft-a-thon here, some really good stuff to help with the pandemic.
Nutrition, safety, and health. Carlos Nelson, who's behind me, has been doing just that, leading the Greater Auburn Gresham Development Corporation in Chicago. His dream of creating a federally qualified health center to provide medical care in his neighborhood is becoming a reality with support from the Chicago Bears, and it will open in 2022. Congratulations, Carlos, and please take it away with the Bear selection.
Here is the pick.
Well, how exciting is this? With the 11th pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, my Chicago Bears select Justin Fields, quarterback, Ohio State.
There it is. Justin Fields from Ohio State is going to Chicago. Wow. Family seems to be pretty happy for him. Just crazy stuff. Justin Fields, I thought he was definitely worthy of a top 10 selection. He falls all the way to Chicago. Oh, man.
Chicago grabs their quarterback of the future. Andy Dalton probably will be starting at week 1, but don't expect him to be starting for long. Justin Fields will be gunning for that job. He comes in. I like this move for Ryan Pace. I like this move for Matt Nagy. I think this is a good turnaround for this franchise. This is an A-level pick, in my opinion. Really great job by Chicago. Crazy stuff. GRX, we can be celebrating that Justin Fields is not a New England Patriot. Now the question is, will it be Mac Jones? We think that there is a real possibility that it is at this point. We will see exactly what happens. But remember, guys, the Chicago Bears select quarterback Justin Fields. Now at pick 12, we do have the Dallas Cowboys on the clock after they traded down. They are going to be looking probably at cornerback still, maybe offensive tackle. Rashawn Slater still on the board. Austin, what's your thoughts? What's your grade for this most recent pick?
I give this an A grade. I love Justin Fields here. Chicago had to make a move, and they went ahead and did it. They were super aggressive in doing so. They gave up quite a bit to do it, but you need a quarterback in this league. Andy Dalton is not sufficient. Andy Dalton does give you a chance, though, for Justin Fields to sit a year if you want to opt to do that. But I think Justin Fields will be the best quarterback on the roster the second he gets there. A lot to like about his upside. Has some issues. Well, let's not get that twisted. I don't think he's the perfect prospect by any means, but I think there's tremendous upside with him. The best deep ball thrower in the entire class, in my opinion. Numbers back that up as well. Justin Fields is a Chicago Bear. Really exciting times for the Chicago Bear fans. Absolutely love the pick. Now looking at Dallas here at 12, could be another trade down opportunity. Could be them just sticking and going corner with Caleb Farley. We also have the Chargers and Vikings coming up. So a lot to really look forward to here. A tackle could be going pretty quick.
Here at Jared X is talking about the nerves of being a Chargers fan right now. Trayvon, how do the nerves have you acted?
I don't know. Like I said, if Slater's gone, you trade back. You have somebody wants Mac Jones. Have him come up and have you trade down. That's the. I don't want Darisaw. I'm just put that way. I don't want Darisaw.
Trayvon at the start of the stream said I would be happy with Darisaw. Here by pick 12, Trayvon is starting to not want Darisaw as much. We'll see. Dream scenario could be sitting right in front of Tom Telesco. If the Chargers pass on Rashawn Slater, will Tom Telesco find his franchise tackle for quarterback Justin Herbert? That will be the worthwhile question that we'll get to see the answer to here in just a minute. At this point, Dallas has 3 minutes left on their clock. Who will Dallas take, Austin?
I think Dallas is really thinking about Slater here. I think one of the best offensive linemen in the draft, arguably the second best offensive lineman in my opinion. Dallas loves to draft offensive players in the first round. They do it consistently. They do it well. So I wouldn't put it past Dallas to go ahead and grab Rashawn Slater. Other guys that they could consider obviously would be a guy like Caleb Farley if they believe his health is okay. Then maybe they go him here. But kind of crazy. We're at 12 already. The draft it's gone slow, but it's also gone fast at the same time. I'm really excited to see the Chargers pick coming up and the Vikings pick. Super fun stuff.
Yes, it is a fun time to be a fan of football. Make sure you guys are subscribed to not only us here at Utility Sports, but also to Trayvon at Charged Up Sports. The link to his channel is in the description. Thanks again, Trayvon, for hopping on the stream with us.
Thank you, guys.
It is a lot of fun. And the pick is in, like Jared X is saying here, for the Dallas Cowboys at pick 12. We will see who they go to select. Commissioner not out on the podium quite yet, it looks like, but he will be coming soon, more than likely. We will be keeping our eyes on that for you guys. Hopefully you are enjoying the live stream. If you are, hit that like button on the video real quick. It would mean a lot to us if you could show us that support. And we will see who the Dallas Cowboys will select at pick 12 in just a minute. Austin, if you're picking for Dallas, do you need to prioritize defense, or is offensive tackle the move?
I mean, I would opt to go with Caleb Farley. I know the medicals haven't exactly checked up in his favor, but I do think he could be really, really good. A good fit there. You just have to be patient with him. He might not be able to play immediately. Depends on how his back procedure went, if he's going to be ready to go by camp. I'm not exactly sure. Worst case scenario, I mean, he sits out a couple of games next year. Roger
the
Goodell,
pick is in. He's coming out. He's coming out to the podium. We will see who Dallas will pick.
do you think so?
I think it's going to be Slater. My guess is Rashawn Slater here.
Surprised the Lakers didn't try moving ahead of the Chargers. 14-minute intro to Dallas
Through
now.
Draftathon, we're partnering with Mental Health America to support resources for those that need it.
The pick is in here for Dallas. Roger Goodell is at the podium. He is talking more about the draftathon and mental health efforts and a lot of good things that the NFL is doing. Roger Goodell been very proactive in the community, things we like to see here at Utility Sports. We will see here in just a second who Dallas will select. Hold on with us here, guys, as we wait for Roger Goodell to announce the selection here.
I can't believe Fields went to Chicago.
That's insane.
Like,
Please give us the honor of leaving the Cowboys pick.
Here is the pick.
Oh my God! How about the Cowboys?
Micah Parsons. Oh, my
their
goodness.
linebacking core is insane.
Micah Parsons is the selection here. Oh, my goodness gracious. I cannot believe that Micah Parsons is the pick here, Austin. I know you really like Micah Parsons. What does he bring to Dallas?
I don't love that he went to Dallas. He's a great football talent. I think that
Let's fucking go! Rashawn Slater!
Rashawn Slater will be a Charger, but Micah Parsons is a great fit in Dallas. I think their defense is going to be spirited on that second level. You could argue the best linebacking group in the entire NFL now. They just solidified that position. Micah Parsons was an opt-out this year, character issues, the whole 9 yards, but it's possible at the end of the day he could be, very worthy of a top 5 level talent. Now the question is how is he going to fit into Dallas? What's the plan with Jalen Smith and Leighton Vander Esch? But Micah Parsons, athletic freak, really, really good in a lot of facets of the game, in the pass game, in the run game, good instincts. Could be a better block shedder, but however, I think that he's a very, very well-rounded prospect.
If you would have told me Micah Parsons was landing in the NFC East, I think Dallas would have been the last team I would have guessed of the 4 there in the NFC East. I thought it would have been even more likely Washington moved up to get him than anything at that point. Honestly, I just am surprised by this. I thought the Giants were a real need spot for him. I thought that the Eagles could be a real landing spot. Instead, it is the Dallas Cowboys. He goes there. I like him as a player. The fit is interesting. He gives a big hug here to Roger Goodell. Glad to see his day get made. A lot of hard work for Micah Parsons. Glad to see him go.
Rashawn Slater.
Just very surprised. Rashawn Slater here is now on the board for the Chargers. Will Brandon Staley and Tom Telesco pull the trigger on Rashawn Slater? Trayvon, what if they took Christian Darrisaw over Rashawn Slater? What would you say?
I'd probably just go and just forget about the rest of the draft. To be honest, I'm being honest with you. We're not gonna think that way though. We're gonna think Rashawn Slater's the pick here, and we're gonna be super duper happy right now. I'm nervous.
This is a very, very, very crazy turn of events here with Micah Parsons. Brandon says, "I knew it." That's awesome, Brandon. You've been killing it with the draft coverage yourself here. Glad to have you in our stream. It's been absolutely awesome getting to hear your thoughts on the NFL draft. It does mean a lot having that kind of support. And just, wow, crazy, crazy, crazy day here as the Dallas Cowboys go ahead and grab Micah Parsons here. That is absolutely insane. Trayvon, is the clear and obvious pick for the Chargers Rashawn Slater? Now's your time.
Yes, of course. The clear pick right now is Slater. I don't think there's anybody else on the board that you consider taking. He's the he's the best tackle on the board right now, and you need to. I think the fact that J.C. Horn's gone, I think even further implements that you take Rashawn Slater right now. But you never know. I'm just super nervous until I hear that name called. I'm going to be.
Right now is a big question mark. This is an absolutely insane day. You never actually know what's going to happen. I'm sure Cowboys fans thought there's no way Micah Parsons is going to be the pick here at 12. Ended up being the selection for the Cowboys. We will see if Tom Telesco does get this right, pull the trigger on Rashawn Slater. Trayvon, if there was one player on the board right now you wouldn't want your team to take that is a realistic possibility, who would it be?
It's Darrisaw right now.
Christian Darrisaw right now.
Just given the fact that Slater's right here. Like if Slater wasn't here, again, I'd understand it, but I wouldn't want it. And like I said, the fact that the top two corners are off the board, I think even further solidifies Slater being taken right now. But I don't know. I'm nervous. Maybe they trade back. Maybe they want to get in front of Minnesota, New England, that being. And take Mac Jones? I don't know. Because they're taking a long time.
They are taking a long time right now. The clock is under 2 minutes at this point. Possibly could be working the phones. Tom Telesco maybe looking to build up some draft.
Maybe
capital.
Washington's trying to get here. I don't know if you guys talked about that, but Washington could move up here. Oh, clock reset.
The pick is in. It is in. The Chargers
Okay.
did not move. I'm sure they were working the phones, though. Like you said, Trayvon, maybe Washington was a team calling, trying to figure out some possible ways to move up, find their long-term franchise quarterback. However, it doesn't seem like that's going to be in a trade with the Los Angeles Chargers. LAC sticking here at 13, going to probably be taking Rashawn Slater. That is my guess at this point. We will see, though. I'm hoping to see Christian Darrisaw's name pop up across the timeline here just to see what Trayvon's reaction would be. I think that would be an all-time great reaction. Someone in the chat get ready to clip it, because at that point we would get to see Trayvon probably cry live on stream. That would be an excellent clickbait video for tomorrow on the channel if we had Chargers fan cries as Tom Telesco selects Christian Darrisaw. That would be a pretty fun video. But at the end of the day, we will see who the Chargers select. You think it's got to be Rashawn Slater, right?
It's got to be Slater. I think that it's a 90% chance that it is Slater.
That is likely going to be what we see. That's my guess. Trayvon, it's got to be Slater, right?
Slater or bust. Slater or bust.
Slater or bust. Okay, interesting. To be honest, if you guys selected Caleb Farley, I would really like that yet at this point. But my guess is it is going to be Rashawn Slater.
Now with our injury history, you need to not touch that man with a 10-foot pole. That's serious.
I feel, yeah, true. You guys have struggled a little bit with injury history. That will be enough to derail an entire season at this point, so I understand that. We will see exactly who the pick will be running through some of the picks. Remember, pick 1, Trevor Lawrence was the selection. Pick 2 went to Zach Wilson for the New York Jets. 3 was Trey Lance for the 49ers. Kyle Pitts went 4th overall in a wonderful grab for the Atlanta Falcons. I really like what the Falcons have on that offense now. Cincinnati Bengals here at 5 grabbed Jamar Chase. Dolphins at 6, stuck wide receiver went Jalen Waddle. Pick 7, the Detroit Lions selected the best tackle in this year's class, Penei Sewell. Carolina Panthers had the shakeup pick of the century here with J.C. Horn. Not quite that dramatic, actually, but very surprising pick nonetheless. Pick 9, the Broncos went cornerback as well, grabbing Patrick Surtain. Cowboys traded pick 10 to the Eagles, and then later the Eagles grabbed Devontae Smith. Pick 11, the Bears moved up for Justin Fields. Pick 12, the Dallas Cowboys selected Micah Parsons, and that leaves us with where we are at now. At this point, we will see exactly who goes now at this point for pick 13. Crazy day so far. Make sure you guys hit the like button on the stream to show your support to Utility Sports.
What's taking so long?
What is that, Trevon?
So what's taking so long?
Right now, they realize it's the Los Angeles Chargers, and they have about 15 total fans, so there's not a lot built up. They'll just have it pop up across the bottom line here for the pick. I'm just kidding, guys. Obviously, the Los Angeles Chargers have a massive fan base. No sarcasm in my voice there with that. I'm just playing with you, Trevor.
They're going to cut the commercial during Jacksonville's pick 25.
Yeah, that is true. They always cut the commercial during Austin's team's picks. We'll see. Is Rashawn Slater the selection?
It looks like he is crying, so it appears that he will be the pick.
Yeah, that would make a lot of sense. He is going to Los Angeles to play for the Chargers. He is crying. You could probably relate those two things together. Trayvon, obviously done with my jokes, not having it anymore at this point.
He's getting ready to post to his story.
Yeah, he's getting ready.
Chat story, Instagram story. He's going to tweet it to his Chargers community. He's going to go into his Chargers group chat on Twitter and let them know that they got the second best tackle in the class.
Trayvon, how would you feel about Elijah Vera Tucker if he was the selection?
I wouldn't be as mad as I would be Darrisaw.
Okay, what if it's Tevin Jenkins?
I'd be pretty mad.
Can we get some Samuel Cosme hype in the chat right now?
No, I'm okay.
My guess is it's going to be Rashawn Slater. I'd be surprised. We had him as the number 2 tackle this entire time. If he isn't the second tackle off the board, we'd be surprised. Stream here. We will see who goes. Now at this point, the Chargers draft room looking pretty content with their pick, feeling pretty good there. And Goodell's at the podium.
With the 13th pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, the Los Angeles Chargers select Rashawn Slater Jr. Tackle. Northwestern.
There he is. A moment of purple pride.
That is a very good pick. Tackle Rashawn Slater out of Northwestern does land in Los Angeles with the Chargers. A very, very, very good grab for Los Angeles. They get their pass blocker of the future to protect franchise quarterback Justin Herbert. Here we will see Trayvon's reaction as he gets it live. Man is all smiles over there on the other side.
Yes. Pure happiness. Yes.
Jared X talk about the big moment. And then he's this is the moment where I was joking about all 16 of their fans. Jared X loves the Samuel Cosme train, and the pick is in, and it was Rashawn Slater. Trayvon, what are your thoughts on Slater?
I'm so happy right now. I think that he's amazing. I think that he can play every single position on the offensive line. And this was the second best tackle behind Penei. I think he's the most NFL ready tackle currently right now. So I'm super happy that he gets to block for Herbert. And I think that our offensive line just got so much better.
Yes, it really did. It is interesting how the draft always plays out so perfectly for Los Angeles. A few years back, Derwin James miraculously falls to 17. I don't know how that happened. This year, somehow Rashawn Slater falls all the way to 13 past, 4 teams that needed tackles. Very surprising yet again, but Rashawn Slater does fit perfectly here. Tom Telesco gets lucky with the way the draft falls, but at the end of the day, he still hits on the pick. He's the one who pulls the trigger, and it's going to work out very, very well for the Chargers. Austin, what's your grade?
I give this an A grade. Very, very good selection for the Chargers. Surprised he lasted this long. He's going to be a cornerstone for that offensive line for years and years to come. I love Rashawn Slater, best pass blocking tackle in the entire class, which is what they really need in LA. That team's shaping up to be a very dangerous one, unfortunately. At least I know my Jags will win 2 games next year. So looking forward to that.
At this point, I'm going to point out the Jacksonville Jaguars are still undefeated with Trevor Lawrence. They have not lost yet. So until I see them lose, I'm not going to bet against Trevor Lawrence. Of course, if Trevor Lawrence was a Jet, I would be a little less optimistic. But here we are. Rashawn Slater was the selection. Now let's move on to the Minnesota Vikings here, guys. I think Elijah Vera-Tucker would be an interesting player. Christian Darrisaw as well on the board here.
Trade.
We have a trade. We have a trade to announce.
Is this Washington jumping New England? The New York Jets.
The New York Jets are on the board.
Let's turn it up. Let's turn it up.
Caleb Farley.
Could be Caleb
I
Farley.
swear, if it's Caleb Farley, I'm going to cry. I'm going to be so happy, guys. I'm going to be so happy. Oh, my gosh. Let's go. Okay. We'll see who we take. Come on, Joe Douglas. He knows he can only hit the first half of the first round.
Wow, that's crazy.
The New York Jets are moving up here. Who is it for, Austin?
Caleb Farley, I think. Unless they want Jalen Phillips.
They could want Jalen Phillips. This is exact. I have Jalen Phillips as the 14th best player in the class. I would feel very, very good about grabbing him here. This is absolutely unbelievable. Trayvon, who do you think the Jets are getting? Guys, let's spam JETS in the chat right now. Let's go, Jets. It is Jets time.
I'm gonna say, I don't know. I'm gonna say Farley. Actually, that's tough. I'm gonna say an edge. Because Robert Saleh wants one.
It could be Vera-Tucker as well. Austin just brought that up. I think edge would make a lot of sense.
I don't know if it's Vera-Tucker because I feel like the Vikings would have loved that pick, so they would have, you know what I'm saying? Like I feel like they would have had somebody else in mind.
They don't have a second-round pick this year, so the Vikings.
They don't.
No,
because of the Yannick
okay.
Ngakoue deal. So that might be what motivated them. Now I'm interested to see what the Jets gave up to move up from 23 to 14.
They might have had to give up that second rounder.
I think so for sure.
Or it could be.
Oh wait, maybe not.
No, it could be a third.
Brandon here is thinking maybe Najee Harris or Travis Etienne. That would be surprising to me. I would be very surprised. I wouldn't hate it necessarily.
You wouldn't be happy, though,
but I wouldn't be in love with it. If this is for Jalen, let me pull up my big board, boys. I'm pulling up my board. This is what I need to see. We need to see someone that I like at the top of this list. Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, I'd probably cry. I don't think that'll be the pick here, but I would be so happy. Looking at it, Caleb Farley, I would be ecstatic. Earlier at the top of the show, I made a joke about us drafting 2 quarterbacks. I swear to God, if Mac Jones was the pick, I'd probably cry. If we were that scared of New England that we didn't want New England to get him. Leslie Jones, welcome to the stream. He says, "Go Bears, Bears down." Great day for Chicago football. You got to be extremely happy. Right now, I'm focused on my New York Jets, who we're trying to take at this point. If it was Rashad Bateman, I'd be ecstatic. Dude,
maybe they went up to go get Bateman.
If it's Rashad Bateman, holy cow, I'm gonna be stoked.
I'm trying to think who's available right now.
Okay, guys, right now, everyone in the chat, let's channel some good energy. We need to either be spamming Caleb Farley's name, Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah's name, Rashad Bateman's name, or Jalen Phillips' name. And if you want, you can even throw AVT in there because I'd be fine with Elijah Vera-Tucker. I don't care if it's anyone besides those 5. I might have a little bit of a hissy fit. You'll maybe get to see a Jets fan freak out on a live stream. I was just making fun of Trayvon, but Tom Telesco doesn't miss picks, so we don't really have the opportunity for that. Yes, thank you, Brandon, for putting in Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. Leslie Jones, I'm very happy for you that you're happy. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss out on any of our content here at Utility Sports. The Bears had a phenomenal day. They went out, they paid an aggressive price to go get their future quarterback in Justin Fields, but that's a very good move. Austin, who is the pick here for my New York Jets?
I've kind of talked into Rashad Bateman. I think he's that number one receiver I was talking about them potentially needing, and they have came up and got him. It's either that or Farley, but the medical history of Farley is not great, but I think he's near that top 10 in terms of overall talent. So
is there a possibility we could see Darrisaw or Tevin Jenkins?
I think it's possible, but not super likely. Not super likely, though.
Maybe Elijah Vera Tucker.
I mean, we badly need interior offensive lineman help, but in this class, I'd be a little surprised moving up to do that. In fact, I would have preferred moving down from 23 if it was to help bolster up our interior offensive line with the strength of this class from rounds 2 through 3. But we'll see who Joe Douglas had in mind. I also need to see what the compensation we paid Minnesota to move up here. If pick 34 is involved, we made a mistake.
Yeah, that would be bad. I think they probably gave up.
My hope is Carolina's pick next year.
Could be.
At most, honestly. But at this point, we'll see the New York Jets.
Wow.
Move up all the way to 14. Crazy turn of events.
Maybe it's Bateman.
It could very well be Rashad Bateman. We will see if that is the way the cookie crumbles here.
We might have trade details on that. Vikings got 23, 66, and 86 for 14 and 143. So not that bad.
We traded our third and fourth.
Right. It's not great, but
damn.
Well, it's okay. Joe Douglas was going to miss those picks anyway.
Yeah. We can't draft Michael P. Ryan.
Yeah. Okay. Commissioner coming up to the podium, Trayvon.
Come on, Bateman.
With the 14th pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, the New York Jets select Elijah.
Okay. Versatile along the offensive line. Yep.
It's no secret during this whole process.
Mac Jones is on the phone. Oh my God.
I liked Elijah Vera Tucker.
Oh my God.
No, there's no secret. Mac Jones is on the phone. He's going to be a New England Patriot. But there is no secret. I liked Elijah Vera Tucker during this entire process. I'm very happy with this here. Austin, give us your thoughts.
Yeah, so absolutely love that for the New York Jets. I thought it might have been Bateman, but they obviously prioritize the offensive line. You have to be really, really excited if you're a New York Jets fan. So really crazy stuff if you're a New York Jets. They had to move up quite a ways, but they got their guy. Versatile along the offensive line, can play guard, can play tackle. He does a lot of different
Mac
things.
Jones is getting a call.
Yeah, he's getting a call. We were saying he's going to go here to New England. I think that's almost fact at this point. Wouldn't be shocked.
That's good for the Jets. Elijah Vera Tucker is great.
Yeah. So, Trayvon, what do you think here?
I think that's phenomenal. I just think that he's able to play. He is also the tackle that's able to play every single position there is. He played a little bit of tackle. He played a little bit of tackle, mostly at guard, but he is phenomenal. I think he's definitely excels, especially as a run blocker. He really gets up to the second level, really, really smooth, more smooth than any prospect I've seen in a very long time. I think that just his versatility allows for so much now for the Jets in the draft. That's why they're able to give up their third and fourth, just because the guy can play anywhere.
Absolutely. Yeah. So now the Vikings, they get some much needed flexibility to hop into that second round. Love that for Minnesota. I mean, I think there's a possibility that we could see. Well, let's kind of look at what's the rest of the way here. Can you go to that order? Because Mac Jones was just flashed on the Jets pick, but I think they prematurely did that for the Patriots. I think it's pretty clear and obvious that Mac Jones is going to be a Patriot at the end of the day.
Yes, I think so as well. Crazy crazy turn of events. Elijah Vera Tucker, a New York Jet. I'm very, very happy with that.
Wow.
We needed to improve our interior offensive line. Joe Douglas is showing a commitment to improving in that area, and we still have pick 34. Thinking about it, I'm pretty happy. We have now 3 picks in the top 34, and we got 2 really good players at this point, Zach Wilson, Elijah Vera Tucker. I think at 34 tomorrow, we probably have to come back, look at wide receiver, or look at cornerback or edge at this point. But otherwise, I feel pretty good at this point. He was going to miss on those picks anyways, what I'm telling myself. So it's okay. We're living.
Patriots are.
Yep. The pick is up, Trayvon.
That was fast.
With food insecurity a challenge for so many Americans, we teamed up.
We will see who the Patriots take. Everyone, thank you so much for all the support during the stream so far. You guys have absolutely been killing it. I hope you've been enjoying the stream yourselves. If you have, hit that like button. Right now, Goodell is talking about the draft-a-thon one more time. All the great things that everyone is doing to help humanity in a lot of different ways. But I hope you guys have been enjoying. If you had, hit that like button. Also, if you're new, hit that subscribe button. R. Vega, I know you are hyped up. That is awesome. Glad to hear that for you. You guys got an absolute stud at tackle, and I feel really good about who the Jets got at 14, Elijah Vera Tucker.
I like that. I like that for them.
I do too. I really like Elijah Vera Tucker. Austin, you know I was very high on him.
In the 2021
here we go.
NFL Draft, the 6-time world champion New England Patriots select Mac Jones.
Mac Jones is the selection for the Patriots. That does not come to any surprise. Mac Jones is going to pair up with Bill Belichick. I think that people aren't really surprised by that. They were looking to go up and get a quarterback, and it's funny. Do you guys remember the memes going around about it was at Mac Jones pro day, and Bill Belichick was like angry or thought this. Mac Jones had done something wrong, and he was like criticizing him for it. Well, now here it is. All those rumors and speculation about New England being out on Mac Jones completely out the window. Crazy stuff. I'm kind of shocked to actually see Mac Jones at 15.
Yeah, he still does go in the top half of the first round, the 5th quarterback off the board in the top 15 picks. We talked about this at the top of the show. Some of the better players in this class are getting pushed down a little bit because of the quarterbacks going so high. 33% of the picks so far have been at quarterback position. Mac Jones, a real rise to fame, went from graduate assistant to first-round pick within a year. Big turn of events in his career as an NFL player. We'll see if New England is the right landing spot. As a Jets fan, I'm just happy it's not Justin Fields there. I feel a lot better about it being Mac Jones, but we'll see if he ends up being the starter at the midpoint this year. Cam Newton probably is feeling a little bit of the hot seat right now at this point. Ends up being a pretty solid pick, though. Austin, what's your grade for Mac Jones?
Considering they didn't have to move up, I'll give this a B-. I don't love Mac Jones, the prospect, but they get their quarterback, so B- for me.
Yes, they a pretty decent grade there. Obviously, finding a quarterback. We'll see if Mac Jones is the right fit there in New England as time will tell. But all in all, Austin, going back and doing a little bit of housekeeping here. After the Jets trade, what would you give them for moving up to grab Elijah Vera Tucker where they did?
I'd probably give that a B+. I think that there were other players on the board that were better than him, but I do like them going ahead and getting Elijah Vera Tucker, really, really versatile along that offensive line. The New York Jets are doing what the Colts normally do and build up that O-line first and then build out. So I like what the Jets are doing. I think they're heading in the right direction. Obviously, it kind of sucks that they had to give up those picks, but that's the NFL draft. That's why you trade. So,
right. They were aggressive moving up there. Now at pick 16 here, the Arizona Cardinals. We will be talking about this pick yet.
Yeah. Arizona here at 16. They could be looking Farley as well. It's possible that Farley falls. So I guess you could consider Arizona as potentially being a landing spot for an edge as well. I think they're probably looking defense here.
Yeah, I think so as well at this point. That is the one that makes the most sense to me, just looking at what they need to be doing here. Trayvon, what is your thoughts on your Bama quarterback, Mac Jones, going to New England?
I think it's great that they didn't have to trade up to get him, and they stood put and believed in believe that they could get him and they get their guy, I think that I'm incredibly happy because I think we really get to see. I think this is basically what Jimmy Garoppolo could have done with Bill Belichick. So he'll get a chance to learn the system and learn the NFL speed probably for a year. I think that Cam will probably stay the quarterback throughout the whole year. But then next year we get to see Mac Jones take over and really hopefully propel that offense.
Right. Yep. This is an interesting thing to monitor here too is the Jimmy Garoppolo situation with Mac Jones landing now in New England. It kind of dries up Jimmy Garoppolo's trade destinations. Austin, is there any place that still makes sense at this point for Jimmy G?
Washington. I think Washington is a definite candidate for Jimmy Garoppolo, a team with good infrastructure already. He doesn't have to do too much to succeed there. So I think that they're built to win, and they're kind of a quarterback away from being a true contender.
That is a good point. They are one of the few teams yet that is QB needy. We'll see how they go about addressing that in the future. Obviously, the next year's draft could be a route for them. They have Taylor Heineke and also Ryan Fitzpatrick at this point.
We go live to Elijah Vera Tucker and Mekhi Becton.
That is funny. Elijah Vera Tucker, Mekhi Becton. I really like that starting point for the Jets' offensive line. Still need a lot of work. Joe Douglas spent a lot of money in free agency last offseason. A lot of those signings didn't really pay off. We'll see what we end up doing long term. The Arizona Cardinals pick is in. I had mocked them to trade down. They did not. Also, the pick is in, and here comes the commissioner at this point, Trayvon.
Obviously, have a dynamic young quarterback in Kyler Murray. They've made their pick here at number 16 in the draft, and the commissioner is ready with that.
With the 16th pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, the Arizona Cardinals select Zayden Collins, linebacker, Tulsa.
Oh,
They took him over Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah.
wow. Love that. I don't love that. That is going to be.
They should have taken Jeremiah Owusu. I don't know why they didn't. I cannot believe that happened. What are they doing?
They needed an on-ball linebacker.
I don't know.
Oh my gosh. What is Arizona doing? Now, Zaven Collins is a good player. Don't get me wrong. Both of us think that. But that at 16,
I think they could have traded back.
This is a real surprise to me. To be honest, with Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah still on the board, I'm going to give this a C-. I just like Barry DeHatchett said. Welcome to the stream, by the way. Big surprise. Brandon the Jobber thinks that Raiders will get Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah now. I think so too. We've been mocking that on the channel for a long time. That's kind of what we think. Now, Zaven Collins is a baller. He's a very good player. He's a big part of what Tulsa did this year, how successful they were. But wow, Austin, if you had to give this a grade, would you agree with the C-? Would you go a little bit higher, maybe?
I'd probably give it a C+, but still don't love it. Obviously, if it would have been Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, that would have been more in that A- range. But yeah, I not super huge on it. C+ though for me personally.
So Caleb Farley goes past the midpoint of the first round. We'll also see here. This is just crazy though. Trayvon, what's your thoughts on the pick?
I think it's a bad pick, especially with Owusu-Koramoah on the board. Owusu-Koramoah to me is, I think he's phenomenal because he can play safety as well and linebacker. I think this is too early for Zaven Collins. I didn't have him going in the first round at all. So to see him here at 16, I don't know. I think that if you were looking for a more athletic linebacker, which is what today NFL needs, I think you go Owusu-Koramoah. So I'm gonna stay in the C- range with you, Sheldon.
This is really surprising to me because looking at this team, they badly needed a cornerback. That's the obvious thing. If you would have told me a month ago that they would have stuck at 16 and taken a linebacker and it wouldn't have been Parsons or Owusu-Koramoah, I would have thought that you're crazy. But sure enough, that's what we do see happen here on draft night.
So something I was kind of thinking about this and letting this sink in a little bit. Maybe it's under the idea because Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah is a little undersized. Maybe it's the idea that you pair because you already have Isaiah Simmons, right? So then if you had two guys with very similar builds at that linebacker spot, a little undersized, So I somewhat get it. I just think you take the better football player and kind of figure it out. But at the same time, I think that I guess it can somewhat justify why they took the bigger linebacker in this situation.
Right. The thing that's confusing to me is I thought the J.J. Watt signing was so good because it would help kind of empower Isaiah Simmons by getting someone who's going to eat blocks, be really good in the run game, and really kind of empower what you drafted last year, and then adding on to that, even with Owusu-Koramoah, which I still would have thought was a little bit of a head-scratcher, to be honest. Right. I still think they needed cornerback. I'm very, very surprised by that. But Flashy YT here says, what do you guys think about Mac Jones? I was not here. Austin, you break it down here for Flashy.
Yeah, so Flashy, I think that was, I'm not the biggest Mac Jones fan, but New England definitely needed a quarterback. And, Bill Belichick is going to probably make something of him. So, obviously, if you want a developmental quarterback, there you go. A lot of people love Mac Jones. Super accurate in college, the most accurate quarterback in college football last year. So he was impressive on that front. You got to hope that can kind of carry over to the NFL level, and he'll have a chance to sit if Bill Belichick decides to do so.
Right, and the thing too about New England is, I would have liked Rashad Bateman landing there, but they have other picks. Maybe they move back into the end of the first round here today, make a move for a wideout. They've got some other things that they can still do yet to complement this roster moving forward at this point. Also, Brandon, thank you again for another donation. You've been absolutely killing it today. We really appreciate that. It means so much to us here at Utility Sports. He says the NFL games are going to be so competitive with all this talent going to different teams. I'm looking forward to it. Me too. I love the NFL draft. One of the best days of the entire year. But remember, at the end of the day, it's only important because of the games during the regular season that we get to see that lead up to the playoffs. Everyone loves to look at the mock drafts, but you guys got to make sure you're keeping up with our other content here on the channel, keeping up with our content on who's winning, if you're good, and all that's going on in those regards. Yes, Trayvon.
Somewhere Kirby's dad is smiling because Kirby now owes his dad $20 because he didn't think Mac Jones was going to go first round.
Kirby didn't think Mac Jones was going to go in the
No.
That's all right. Hey, y'all could have me on for the Rams. Yikes. I don't know. Most recent pick, for those of you who missed it, linebacker Zaven Collins to the Arizona Cardinals. Very, very surprising pick. I think that's probably the second most surprising pick of the day, behind the Panthers taking
J.C. Horn.
J.C. Horn at 8. I think J.C. Horn, just with how high of a pick that was, very surprising. Buried the hatchet. Yeah, buried the hatchet here, says TB12 to MJ10. Interesting, probably not going to be the case, but we'll see nonetheless. And this will actually be the final pick we're going to do here of the first round, guys. You guys have been absolutely killing it. Just at this point, with how the draft's been going, our voices are starting to get a little sore from streaming. Hopefully you guys understand. We've been going at this for about 3.5 hours now at this point. But before you guys stop today, make sure you go subscribe to Trayvon's channel, Charged Up Sports. Link is in the description if you haven't already. We appreciate each and every one of you guys stopping in here. The Raiders pick will be the final pick we cover on the live stream. We're also going to be coming out tomorrow. Goodell is coming out to the podium right now. Let's break it down.
Unexpected moments in the draft over the course of the last few years. Let's see if he has another trick up his sleeve. Here comes Roger Goodell.
2017 pick in the 2021 NFL draft. The Las Vegas Raiders select Alex Leatherwood.
Oh my gosh.
He's going to
no.
That's an F. That's an F. Yikes.
That. Oh no.
Whoa. They went out. They replaced Trent Brown.
This is
Leatherwood.
this is a terrible pick.
Yo.
To give you guys an idea, I had Alex Leatherwood on my board at 74. And Austin, where did you have Alex Leatherwood?
I had him in the 80s, I believe.
Me and Austin, the composite utility sports rating was low 70s for Alex Leatherwood. This is a missed pick. He struggles in pass protection against speed rushers. Now he's going to be really good in the run game, and he's going to be really good against power rushers in the NFL. But he is going to really severely struggle against speed rushers at the NFL. I think he struggles with bend. He struggles with speed off the edge. I think all in all, this is a missed pick by the Las Vegas Raiders. I know, Raiders fans, this is not what you want to hear. I was kind of pulling for you guys. This just isn't it. This is not the pick it should have been. Alex Leatherwood, this goes to show what they like to do. They pick from winning programs. And yes, Jared, they passed. They took him over Christian Darrisaw. They took him over Tevin Jenkins. He's the third tackle off the board. Wow. And no one would have guessed that. This is a missed pick. They missed a few years ago when they took Clelin Ferrell, 4th overall. They have not been making the best decisions. Trayvon here is dancing. He does not like the Las Vegas Raiders. No surprise there. The AFC West rivals, and he is happy. Trayvon, even though you're a Crimson Tide fan, you can acknowledge this was a terrible selection. Break down why Leatherwood at 17 is just a joke.
I think that it's a terrible selection given the fact that talent on the board. I could see if Darrisaw was gone and Tevin Jenkins, but I think that Tevin Jenkins would have been perfect for them. Even Darrisaw would have been perfect for them. And the fact that they take Leatherwood is, I think it's really concerning. I mean, maybe they see something that we don't, but I'm extremely happy that he went there. So I just another guy for Joey Bosa to eat up.
No kidding. Joey Bosa will dominate that matchup against Alex Leatherwood. That is a surprising pick. He probably would have been available in round 2, honestly, if they didn't take him now. Remember, last year they took Damon Arnett before anyone was expecting that. I'm honestly starting to become convinced. I've been trying to defend Mike Mayock and John Gruden. I'm starting to be convinced that these guys only watch Power 5 play, that they only watch, the national title game every year, because their draft history would suggest that. Looking at a majority of their picks, they've come from Ohio State, Clemson, and also Alabama. And yeah, sure, those are good programs to pick from, but you still need to pick the right players from those programs and at the right spots in the draft. Alex Leatherwood, this is just not the spot for him. Clearly, they didn't have the tape on Tevin Jenkins to the level that they needed to. Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah is from a big-time school, Notre Dame. They didn't even get that right. They picked Alex Leatherwood over Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, over some really good edges available, over 2 way better tackles. I mean, Alex Leatherwood, this is a bad pick. Like you said, Austin, this is an F grade. I just can't believe it. And Jared X breaks it down perfectly here. Chargers get Slater. Raiders get Leatherwood. And this will be the final pick we do here with the Miami Dolphins. The commissioner is walking up to the podium as right now.
With the 18th pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, the Miami Dolphins select Jalen Phillips.
Oh, okay.
Defensive end, Miami.
And the Dolphins grab a really good player here, Jalen Phillips. Thank you guys again so much for tuning into the stream. Brandon, we really appreciate all your donations today. Once again, thank you so much. Jared X, we also appreciate your donation earlier on in the stream. You guys mean so much to us here at Utility Sports. Thanks again. We're looking forward to catching you guys. We'll probably do a winners, losers video at the end of this draft, so keep in tune for that later. Thanks again, guys, and we'll catch you in the very next video. Thank you, Trayvon.